I got your name. I got your ass.
Now you want to get nuts? Come on. Let's get nuts.
Start how to open this.
You have to introduce us out normally anyway, and then wind it from there.
Yeah, as you usually do. Well, I don't think there's a better way to start than that. So, welcome everyone back to another Sit Down and Shut Up. This one is going to be exclusively about The Shining, the Stanley Kubrick film.
Stephen.
Well, off to a good start now.
Based on a book by Stephen King.
Yes, that's where we're getting at. Right, well, pass the names around as we go along so you can understand who's here. So, me, myself, is Conor.
And Declan Maguire, Decky play-by-play.
J.P, aka the original Razer.
Now Conor, messy Doodle.
Good to have you, lads.
Show.
Show. So we've all, I think this has probably been one of the easiest bits of homework. Sit down and watch a fucking classic.
Yeah. Hate it. Hate every moment of my best. I mean, it's enjoyable.
Deck, you also were tasked for coming over for a nice wee friendly visit. Join in for this, so...
Yeah. So I'm here for 2 podcasts. We're going to be doing this one and we'll announce another one soon. Actually, we have announced it. It's on our Instagram. So we're going to be doing the Ant Justice for All one pretty much back to back.
Intense. It's going to be probably about 8 hours long. Might put up in a few parts, but we'll fucking get that one put start.
Well, that's
How long?
Long time overdue.
Fucking right.
How long is it going to be?
8 hours.
This is like Peter Jackson's extended editions sort of thing.
8 hours and 16 parts.
Different languages, the whole lot. We're going to make up a language especially just for this fucking
Then you have
podcast.
the bonus features, the making of.
Well, this is overdue. Getting us all here.
Yeah.
Getting us all here together is overdue, but also the topic of The Shining is something that has been passed around for a good couple of months now.
Quite a while, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a movie we all like. So
Yeah.
rewatching it is something else, you know.
In this like phase 2 version of Red Acre, we've simplified a few formats and stuff now. We've worked it out. So what we're actually starting to do is take stock of films, albums, fucking games, anything that's really touched base to us, especially for keeping all of us together, because we've all watched these fucking films growing up. We all have different ways of approaching it, and that's where we're kind of going to expand on now, because most people will either sit there and theorise everything from start to finish, whereas we will sit there and just point out the things that just will make us fucking laugh.
Yeah.
And just make up as many fucking catchphrases for many other viewings as we go along. So
We more or less make up our own plot as we watch the movie.
yeah, how we see The Shining, basically. Anyone that's watched it knows start to finish, knows the fucking story, knows each character back to front. We've been sitting down and maybe pulling out a few things that maybe people have overlooked while they're looking for other things.
Yeah.
So
You will get lost if you start getting into that rabbit hole of The Shining. You will start. What is going on with this film, you know?
I totally like right up until I started watching it again for this, and then looking on YouTube videos for different theories. Like I didn't know what so many people had so many theories about it. I knew it was popular, like but so many different theories, and some of them are really out there. Some of them are stretching it, like you know what I mean. But it's fun. Like people watch these films, enjoy them, and start coming up with their own. They've watched it so many times, they're on their own spin to it. You know what I mean? And haven't really done that with many films myself, to be honest. I just like reading up about other people's theories and then adapting them and stuff. And I like the idea of that, I like the idea of this, but. You know, it's so complex. Like you mean, like obviously with Kubrick involved, and stuff. You mean, there's so much shit on it. Like, and you're like, what? That's just a bit of carpet. Do you know what I mean? But but it's Kubrick's carpet.
yeah, it's a Kubrick's carpet.
It's there for a reason, you know.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I'm just saying.
Like there's wee things. I think when we were watching there recently, there last week, we were pointing out different things we might have seen in videos and stuff, and things we read about. Like in one scene, there's a dopey sticker. From Snow White on the wall of just outside Danny's bedroom, but then in the next shot it's gone, and you look at going, that's not a mistake because Kubrick is very perfectionist when it comes to that stuff. But then we're also sitting going, Kubrick could be up in heaven or wherever it is in the afterlife. Sort of going, you know, but he said that's a mistake. Like. Sorry, but he said that was a fuck up, like. You know what I mean?
That was on me.
Yeah,
but people are going, what does it mean? This dopey sticker, what does it mean?
Well, it's all up for interpretation because people love the movie, but then again, some people do want to fit their, you know, their interpretation is, you know, there's a hidden meaning here. That, you know.
We've all had experience in some form when it comes to writing, producing, and making our own content, especially for short films or even music videos or anything. We've all collaborated somewhere along the lines down that kind of way, so we know the effort that goes in to plan everything, taking everything from scratch and. Tell you what, I'm going to put that wee thing hidden in the corner. I know it's there, but you don't know it's there, kind of things. We'll fuck about like that. So we'll have to give the man his dues for the incredible attention to detail, as is with all his fucking with plethora of fucking work. He is someone that as you ever see there's a great video in 2001. I think Spielberg has said he's a filmmaker's filmmaker. He's the one that everyone's going back to for the standards. There's other ones like Pennebaker now, one of the first, a major fucking director for documentary work and stuff. And a lot of people go back and watch his work for reference, and so that's definitely something comes through with Kubrick here. And as you said about the theories, it's weird though, especially for this kind of film. Usually for one film, it just goes one side. There's all these theories linked to the director has all these things in it. Whereas there's so many things linked to this now between Kubrick's own fuck up about personalising and all the things linked to King's work. So I know probably from yourselves, we had a lot of clips thrown in our group chat to look over before this one. So it was kind of nice. There was a lot of stuff to pick out, whether you want to go down the rabbit hole of fucking the mad Kubrick kind of stuff, or you want to fucking sit there and think of all the different links with the like Dick Halloran stuff and all of like with it and all. So where did you guys seem to just hover around? Did you just try and pick everything apart to just go down one thing?
Well, I always kind of knew that fucking, well, not always, obviously when I've seen the movie for the first time, I didn't know what was going on. I just knew it was a classic and I wanted to watch it.
Yeah.
Made up my own kind of thing, what was going on, back then. But as time went on, I heard that it was connected to the It universe, and all of his works are kind of connected, but I never really dived in and looked any more into it, but for the purpose of this podcast, just doing research, right? Many good videos on YouTube. There are many people who have put hours into it, researching through all the different films and through the books as well. What relates to what is actually going on in The Shining? Is it?
So people have mapped this out. Enough to.
And they've ended up like Jack Torrance by the end of it.
One day. I know.
Totally committed. Yeah.
We actually have a print of the Shining poster hanging up as well here, just for inspiration. Yeah. The classic fucking Jack.
Here's Johnny.
Here's Johnny face. I think everyone at some point in their life has tried to pull that face. If you walk past a broken window or something, you're sticking your head in like that.
And as your point there, John, you mentioned there not too long ago, I think it's probably the same with everyone, but you can throw in your own opinion. But I can agree with John. Like I've heard and seen that image before I seen the film.
Oh God, yeah.
And heard the Here's Johnny before seeing the film. Like,
made that into a canvas before.
That's right, drew it a couple of years ago, yeah. So that's probably even a couple of years before you watched the film, because again, it's just an iconic shot, like,
I heard Here's Johnny was from my uncles imitating that years before I seen the movie. But I was like, Here's Johnny. I was like, what the fuck's that there about?
And then
this crazy Uncle James. Do you know what I mean?
And then from that moment, I always thought the character, and I thought, he must be called Johnny. And then finally, it's actually called Jack, and I was like, that doesn't make sense. Here's Johnny. But then you start reading up about it, and it's going, that just makes sense.
I can't remember my exposure to this movie. I really can't.
I can't remember the first time I watched it, to be honest with you.
There might have been clips of like fucking TV shows going on, greatest 15
I can't
hours.
Simpsons and things like that.
Yeah. Actually, you know what? It could be.
The bathroom,
No, it could be actually my first exposure or knowing about this is from The Simpsons first. Do you know what I mean? Like very easily might have seen that, and then somewhere down the line gradually would have seen it anyway, but I just can't remember.
Yeah.
I think whenever I was watching these kind of movies, I kind of watched them all at once. Do you know what I mean? So I watched Godfather movies and watched like all the other gangster movies and like some of these classics. So like
Once Upon a Time in America and everything, just stacked them up. Yeah.
So I think I was classified as a aficionado when I watched it for the first time. So I think that I kind of, I regret not watching it as a child, because it probably would have scared me a bit more. Because I have experience. Don't want to go off here, but I would do this place. But I remember watching The Sixth Sense when I was young. Scared the fucking shit out of me. And then I got it on DVD when I go about 10, 15 years later. Watched it, going, what the fuck is this? Obviously the facts didn't age too well, this and that, but I kind of look at different going, I still scared the shit out of me this time. I mean, it's all messing with your mind. It's more psychological for me when you're older. Messing with the mind, what you don't see and stuff. To me, it's probably one of the scariest films out there I've seen now. It's up there with horror films, like.
Oh God,
you know, like to that, me, that's scary. The scarier shit seeing the wee ball roll to Danny. That's scarier than I mean, out a window, like, oh, it's a ghost. You mean it's too obvious, like, it's subtle.
It's the fear of the unknown.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like that whole Lovecraftian fucking horror monster, it doesn't really have a...
I'd like to apologise for whoever's listening on the earphones, by the way.
Me. For monitoring.
Yeah, no, like what JP was saying there, pretty much in summarise, like just the unknown, isn't it? Like so it freaks us all out on a psychological level. I think that's just instinctively what freaks us out, just not knowing what's...
That's why I want to actually bring it back, Scott. You were saying to John, like to you, if you're watching this film after the research you did with the Stephen King universe, do you think that's your explanation for The Shining? And what happened in the hotel, it's it controlling stuff
I think
going
it's
on.
involved, but I don't necessarily let that mythos take over the film, if you know what I mean, because I know it's different from the actual
You can
birth.
separate-
Well, it's not the clown. The clown's nowhere near the hotel.
No,
it's
that's
not a
Pennywise,
clown.
sure.
Yeah,
But
it's Pennywise.
if you look
yeah.
at Jack Nicholson, the more he goes on, his hair starts to look like it's clown hair where it comes out to the sides and not from the top, the wee tuft. But I don't necessarily let it take over the movie. Right, that's all this fucking whatever the fuck.
Yeah,
it
I was
is.
going to say, can you enjoy both? Can you enjoy it standalone for what it is, and then kind of like I kind of do that sometimes. Watch a movie and kind of I know it's this is the parameters of the movie, but like I'm playing out my own experience by watching it, like almost simultaneously. Like I'm watching another version of the movie while I'm watching it.
Yes, it's hard.
I kinda
Like
do
once
that
you read
sometimes.
these things, it's hard. It's like reading a book of a film and then going and watch the film, and then you've seen the film before you read the book, and then you read the book, imagine the film. It's like, well, you can't get that out of your head then, and it's to me like if you read these theories about The Shine, this, and then you go and watch it, going, you have one thing in your head going, and you're really looking for that one thing to go, yeah, there's a wee point out there to it, or whatever it may be, like, you know.
I think it's worth mentioning, I haven't seen it myself, we'll cover more of the movie, but I definitely think there's a TV version of The Shining that Stephen King did.
Oh, there is, yeah.
And apparently there's some scenes, there's like a lot more ghosts and shit like that, and you know, which will be probably closer to it. Mythos. I think it exists in the Kubrick version, but not necessarily the over.
No, it's not prominent.
Fact, but there is a lot. You know, the Kirk is from the fucking. The
That's
Hoosiers
right. Yeah, I was
Club
just going to
and
mention him
it's
somewhere.
on,
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't. Again, I view it as its own movie, and the shit that's going on with like recent theories about Donnie being the real villain in the movie, and Jack trying to escape the pressures of an adult and trying to be more like a boy who uses the
What you're
hotel
saying
to
there,
escape
yeah,
and shit
about
like
him
that.
like taking on like he feels. Just wanted to add this to it. I think when you're watching the movie, it's kind of quite clear he thinks he's the one being the main provider, and he's very very stressed about that, and he comes across very strong. Like he has to run this hotel. It's his priority. That's his job, and he stresses out and freaks out whenever she wants to change that, and he's finally got a role to play. But she's the one actually keeping this hotel going. She's doing maintenance work on machines and like being a mother and stuff, cooking and cleaning, while he's just trying to be a writer, you know.
Yeah, like that's what he's really doing. Like.
Parallels. It's like Donnie and Jack are very, very fucking similar in that movie. Like that wee video. I should have fucking. I've only seen it this morning, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But come on by itself, which is weird, do you know.
Ready for you, set up.
Yeah, but like
That'd be freaky.
Jack and Donnie are what's Jack's character's name in it?
Jack.
Jack. Yeah, fuck's sake.
Loves playing himself.
Yeah, the parallels between the two of them, wearing the red jacket and all, and Donnie playing about with toys, and Jack playing about with toys, throwing the baseball and everything. Doesn't want to do his work, he just writes. All
No work and no play.
But there's a few lines where it goes, all work and no play make Jack an adult boy.
I didn't see
Which is a
that.
nice parallel as well, which is most likely done deliberately because it's on one page and there's about 3 or 4 times, you know.
I wanted to pause that. There were moments where I was going to like analyse like
You see the at symbol and everything for the A.
there's a couple of things that looks different. I'm just like I'm sure there might be somewhere in there. But I'm just engrossed in the movie at that stage. But fucking great point.
He was winging that ball in that big ballroom.
We took the piss with it when we were watching it together. We were like, there's about 17 baseballs up in this relic of a painting, you know. And the whole reason he's cracking up is because at the start, where you're in their house, there's the place is surrounded like books and books and books. We're going, they're all Jacks and not one public. Cracking up, you know. But yeah, it was like him going to the hotel was his escape, right? Getting away. I don't have to fucking no work.
It's a solitude of he wants to write, but then he's going up, but then he has his wife and his kid to deal with, and then on top of all that, whatever's happening at the hotel. Like.
Yeah, and a lot
And
of
there's
times
subtle
it's-
things throughout the movie. Sorry, I didn't mean to jump in. There's a couple of subtle things. Like, there's great setup. The exposition in that movie is like for the way the movie arcs at the very end. For him to go the way he goes, it's very plausible because the setup's there.
Oh, yeah.
You know about his back history a little bit. There's subtle things in there.
What do you think? He is a
dialogue.
recovering alcoholic. That's
You
definitely
see
in there.
his
Like,
behaviour. He's even after being told like there was a fucking murder here, and then being told like you're here for like 6 months. Or, like,
And also what
or,
happens
sorry,
to the last
oh, no,
caretaker?
sorry, it's like the place is only open for 6 months of the year, and then he's running. Yeah, it's something like that. He runs the rest of that whole time. Knowing that whole setup, he's just like, yeah, like you're saying, it kind of all parallels with like him
Totally,
wanting to
yeah.
just fucking have a great life and just. What an opportunity to fucking, doss about and do fuck all. Like,
I know
does
that.
everything.
Man, you're looking at going, minus the craziness of that hotel and stuff. I wouldn't mind going up there for a fucking few months, chilling out, do a bit of art.
We can
relax.
understand it.
Boys, I'd have you
Definitely
up to record a
understand.
few podcasts in the big dining room or whatever. Like, you
Every
know.
room of the hotel.
Jack, you stop winging that ball against that
257,
wall.
whatever
Like,
it is.
you
Stay
know.
away from that room.
Stay away, it was 237.
237,
You should
something
see
like
the stank in there, man. Don't come near her, man.
There's a gilf. It would be a gilf.
Oh, fuck that.
But don't hug her. She changes one after you hug her.
Oh, you get a bit of that moss looking shit
Oh.
on the end of your arm.
Well,
That's the good ending.
apologies to whoever's munching away at a sandwich right now. Going, "That's it, put off."
20
Hummus.
guys,
Hummus, but
of a question anyway for that.
humid hummus.
Humid
House. For watching this particular film, because as I said, there's a split with this because it's both a King novel and it's a Kubrick endeavor. Might as well call it that. So, whenever you're watching this, what kind of thing would you take away? If you're trying to describe it to someone, would you be saying more that it's advise it that it's a Kubrick film and we're paying more attention to what's going on with the visions and stuff, or are you thinking more, right, this is a King book that's been put into a film?
I think of Kubrick first before I stick Stephen King, to be honest with you.
Same.
Yeah, same. Yeah.
It's just-
I actually probably found out about it being a book after it's a book about it. Do you know what? I actually probably found out about it's a book when I watched an episode of Friends. Joey was reading The Shining. We put it in the fridge and stuff.
Yeah.
I was going, "What's the book on The Shining?" And then from then, I haven't read it. You mean? But I want to read it ever since I knew it was a book. Like, you know.
flashing letters based on the novel by Stephen King. We're joking.
Man, from the opening scene, I was like, "No, I
We
didn't."
took the piss for that opening scene as well. Know where it's going along the road. We were like, Stanley Kubrick is on the belly of a fucking mosquito. That shot, paragliding his whole way there.
How's he getting that
One
shot?
camera, IMAX camera, the whole lot. Oh fuck!
Where did he find the big mosquito?
It's a sweet wee mosquito.
That's a per wee thing,
Kubrick.
man.
Who else was in the titles for that? Scatman.
Scatman, yeah.
Scatman. Oh, yeah.
I think it's maybe skipping.
Well, it's forever gonna be
You're
Scatman
making him
on
out to be a
this
fucking
podcast, like.
hero. Scatman.
Yeah.
Anybody called Scatman? Scatman Cothers. That's his full name. And he plays, what do you call him? He plays it. What do you got? Dick Halloran.
Dick Halloran.
Richard Halloran.
Richard Halloran.
And he's the chef, isn't he?
Yeah, see, it's the crypt.
He's the kid in the what's that gang called?
It's the Losers Club.
Losers Club.
From it, yeah.
And he was also in, was it the year before we were saying, he's also in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest with Jack. I think he's one of
What
the
he actually acted?
night shift workers or something like not the character.
Yeah, the actor.
Yeah, the actor, yeah. Scatman.
Scatman.
He was in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, but I actually want to bring up, like, because we were talking, because John, you kept calling her what, Olive.
All of
She looked at- Holy shit! I was
Plays
thinking
all
that.
of
It was the same year Popeye came out.
Yeah.
Didn't even realise that. Actually, yeah, boys,
Perfect
actually,
road,
roll through,
perfect,
actually, I have a
perfect
list of
Was
movies.
she the cat?
She was
Yeah,
Olive.
live action.
With Robin.
And that was the same book.
Yeah.
So the same year Popeye came out, Shining came out. So people was going, "Oh shit,
Batman.
there's Olive."
Olive.
Oh shit! And then, ironically, Robin Williams was one of the choices.
Could you imagine
For Jack Torrance.
in the Popeye
For Jack
outfit
Torrance.
doing that film? though?
She-
Cracking up.
And then George, what do you call him? Harrison Ford and De Niro. They were obviously, but Ting.
Now, De Niro would have been a
Stephen
good one.
King, boy.
Stephen Ting, man.
South East London. Stephen King, mate.
Charlie.
In it.
Charlie King.
No, he didn't like them. So he didn't. So, but again, Kubrick was like, "Fuck you." I mean, he said that anyway.
But who else but Jack could do that, honestly?
I know, yeah, you
Maybe,
couldn't
maybe someone like De Niro or something, maybe plausible, but
Jim
it's just
Carrey nowadays.
Jack's face the whole way through
No,
it.
them eyebrows and the big smile makes it, you know what I mean? But it's pure teeth.
It's just
His
pure
facial
Jack.
reactions throughout the whole movie, man. That's what makes it. Like, if you had to sound off, you just watch them, just be like,
It is Jack Nicholson
get
just
it,
going
it all
nuts.
comes
To
across
me,
his
it's Jack
face.
Nicholson just
him
going
talking,
bar
crazy.
scene.
talking to the door.
see, we sit and talk
His
to the
facial
ghost.
reaction.
That's it. Have you seen, like, it's like that documentary with his daughter, Kubrick's daughter mate.
Yeah.
There's a wee bit in it where she's filming in around just before the door scene, and there's a guy walking around setting up last minute things, and he's just running around with an axe. Well, axe murder kill. This guy's trying to set up a microphone or something, going, "You know, I'm gonna fucking."
And get himself in character, yeah.
Almost, it's weird. It's cool to see that sort of shit behind the scenes, and
I never
because
saw that
Kubrick's
until recently,
so
but
private, like, you know.
Yeah, I've never seen it. I'd always heard about Niall and Conor mentioned it, him in the scene where he's getting ready for the axe, you know.
That's why that's what-
Lesnar it up, you know.
Because we were talking there recently about Friday. Friday the 13th came out the same year.
Love it. Oh, was
Same,
it?
yeah, it's the same year apparently. Yeah, I'll actually just have a list. Empire Strikes Back came out the same year.
Fuck.
Raging Bull
Fucking quality movie, man.
That's enough!
There's a lot of films came out. I'm just naming the more popular. There was some shite that came up in the list. And going, what the fuck is that? I'm not naming
What
it.
year is it? 77?
It's 1980.
So,
80.
The Shining, as far as we know, The Shining wasn't. It was. Audiences liked it, but it wasn't like fucking.
It became huge, I think, afterwards, more bigger afterwards.
Probably would have with you, the list of films you just.
Yeah, like the Caddyshack came out the same year.
Strikes Back probably would have just dominated all them.
Empire Strikes Back probably was, I think, probably the biggest one of the year.
Caddyshack was a big one that year.
What's that? It was Bill Murray and stuff, wasn't it? Airplane. Airplane was out the same year. Flash.
Fuck.
Blues Brothers came out. The Fog. The Fog was the only other real big horror film I think came out that year. John Carpenter. Superman 2 came out the same year.
That was
Popeye. Cheech and Chong's next movie came out as well the same year. Big competition there, but
Yeah.
Kubrick. Kubrick's sweating it. Cheech and Chong 2. Sorry, Cheech and Chong. Stoner fucks, man.
That is a lot of competition for 1 year, to be fair.
On top of other movies came out, but they're the big movies that came out for that year.
For movie fan,
What,
yeah,
do you know when
like
it came out? What month it came out in cinema? It'd be interesting.
I'm settling to. I'm kind of. I would like to say.
Half
I like to say
on the
October.
15th of December.
I like to say October, but I think that's because it's horror. Like you know what I mean. But I don't think Kubrick probably go. No, you know what? Valentine's Day.
But even
Make them think.
even as you
They'll all be
said,
out buying baseball bats by the dozens.
do you really even consider it as a horror film though?
It's
That's the thing. I would say more like a thriller.
Psychological
Definitely.
thriller,
What,
yeah.
Shining?
Thriller.
No, it's definitely horror for me.
Definitely put down for horror.
It can bridge on that, yeah.
Pure psychological, like you know, like that's what I was saying earlier on. Like to me, there's only as I said, you can only to me you only point out 2 moments where you can say it's a ghost. What I can say it's a ghost, it's where the Grady opens the door for him. Like, there's no other possible explanation of how that door opened.
Oh, it's haunted.
And there's another bit where Danny's playing in the hallway and a ball rolled to him. Where did the ball come from? So that's the only 2 moments I think stands out as pure. Everything else you can go down off Jack's mind.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But there's definitely 2 moments of psychological or paranormal activity in it.
Where Wendy sees the ghost as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then she sees the room full of fucking the room full of skeletons and all as well.
That house, the hotel is haunted for sure. Like,
It's just that's what they say. It's built on an
they walked
ancient
in,
Indian burial ground, so I think the
part of
hotel
their-
has a paranormal sort of a entity to it, and it's just makes the humans inhabiting it.
I think it's clear
More
that
the
last
monsters
shot,
than
where,
anything,
like,
you know.
he's now part of that. He's part of their history now. Like he was the caretaker because they absorbed them. Like now he's part of their history. You know.
I believe that's because that's when he talks to
Well,
Grady in the bathroom. Grady died, killed his family, and then they're
Was it the same
absorbed into the
Grady that he
hotel.
described at the start, like when that guy told him. Was it the same name that he was told?
It's the exact
in the
same
bathroom?
Grady. That's what people are saying, and he tells me, my kids, and get in the bathroom. The butler has the exact same kids, the wife. So I think he was a caretaker. He killed the hotel, absorbed him. He became the waiter or the butler of the hotel. Same way as the end. Spoiler: Jack dies, and he's absorbed into the hotel. I don't know what role he became, but I think he became almost a manager of the hotel because he was front and center at in the photo at the end. So you wouldn't put a caretaker at the front of the photo, like you know, what I mean, let's face it, like. So I think that's what happened. The hotel is almost capturing these. They're making them people sort of they're attracting the right sort of characters. And Jack's alright that week. Jack's weak with the alcoholic, and then also the abuse with Danny and stuff. I mean, so he's right for it.
And then that's Wayne coming out of the elevator.
And Wendy was strong. Wendy was strong. So she escaped. And Danny was strong as well because he was only a kid. So maybe he was a wee bit harder to manipulate, maybe or something. I don't know, but
with Danny is an adult, but. To go in more in depth on what is actually going on, the Shining, like, could be like a mixture of all of this is going on, you know. So there could be with the burial ground, there could be like a portal or a gateway open there for maybe whatever it is, the influence, whatever's going on. But with that theory about Danny being the real villain in The Shining, there's a lot of evidence saying that all the stuff that Jack has The Shining as well, apparently, and him and Danny's connected, and a lot of them ghost scenes and shit like that is Danny's young childlike mind not being able to make sense of certain things. So like the bear with the bulldog's face, there was a reference to Danny hearing the words doggy style and not really knowing what, you know, to in his mind make it up, and then that's why it's that weird scene out of nowhere. What does a doggy style also do? It's supposed to be a dog suit, but not a bear suit with a dog's face. There's stuff about like fucking he's trying to warn his mother to get out near the end. That's where he's showing her all the skeletons, and that's not actually what she sees. It's like Danny saying that to her, you know, or showing it to her. Fucking your man and Danny, the cook, when they go into the fridge, there's a high-pitched noise where they're communicating while he's talking to Olive or Wendy.
Olive.
Real high-pitched noise, but that's Danny and him communicating, talking with each other in their minds, you know. And I was kind of getting lost there, as The Shining does. But yeah, Jack definitely has
That's a Shining.
the ability as well. So he's trying to get away from all that stress and responsibility, and he wants to just relax and have a party, and he's the only one that sees all these parties and stuff like that. And then about your man Grady in the bathroom, people actually think that Jack Nicholson doesn't look like Jack Nicholson in the movie. He's actually the butler that he meets in the bathroom is what he looks like, and he saw Jack Nicholson's photo, and heard about Grady before that. So it's almost like he's acting like Grady.
Back in your subconscious, like coming forward. Yeah. I also like interpreted a couple of things watching it. You were saying about that scene with the elevator, what we perceive as an audience, like that's blood coming from the elevator. You were saying that could be. Sorry, you mentioned what you thought it was.
It's supposed to be red wine over his
red
direction and.
Yeah, it's really interesting interpretations. There's other ways of looking at it as well. Something I thought from looking at some of the research as well that was possibly looking at, because it's a haunted hotel, the premise of it being based or built on a Indian burial. It's built on an Indian burial ground, so that could represent the blood of all those innocents. Like
and the hotel is covered in Native American sort of decoration.
Oh yeah, that's the only way I find that being very plausible. You know what I mean? Like that's.
But other than that, nothing else mentioned about
Native
Americans.
But it's so cool like we could. Oh yeah, there's other ways of looking at it. You could probably go into like it's one of those that I didn't realize there were other ways of looking at it. I never. You take it for face value. You could see it as a horror or a thriller or. The more you watch it, you're like, do you know what? Fucking thinking more about this.
Jack's hilarious, like, you mean.
Just making your the gears go in your head a wee bit more. You're like, how plausible were they actually kind of going with this idea? Stanley Kubrick being so, like there's obviously intent with everything he's doing. Like you were saying, like there is. If you look at this frame, you'll see there's this added bit here and there. You don't see it afterwards. It's all there for a reason, absolutely.
Something of the colour red as well. It was like
the colours. I think we saw it in some of those things we were watching, those clips, but there was somewhere in one of them, I have to reference somewhere, someone pointed out that Wendy, her outfit, she's wearing red and blue.
Yeah, she's wearing like a full, what we were saying, red onesie under a dress at one
There's
stage.
a shot where she's in, where Danny's getting visited by a psychoanalyst or some sort of like visitor, where she's wearing this outfit is the exact same outfit as Goofy up in the top corner of the picture. It's the same outfit almost as she's wearing, the red and blue suit.
So like off the top of my head, is that Kubrick saying she's a bit Goofy motherfucker?
Yeah, she's no better or whatever. I don't know. But I think the premise of having that those two colours, red and blue, red, white and blue, the patriotic colours of
America,
capitalist. Kind of the idea of like you could have it if you wanted. The American dream is heavy, or Jack is fucking obsessed with wanting what other people are having. I want that. I mean, I deserve to have that.
He's chasing the American dream.
Yeah. But I think the very seductive things like what would you do to get that? You know what I mean? Like, and then he realizes he's fucked from the decisions that he's talking. He's like, well, I have to fucking kill him. You're seeing some of the. You're seeing like we obviously don't agree on it, right? But you're seeing you can understand the premise of how where he got from A to B. Do you know what I mean? You're like, fuck.
That's what you sit and go like. If he killed Danny, and then Wendy, what then? Because the film ended because then he froze to death, and then he was absorbed back in the hotel. So he was just he'd keep living, and then if he could keep living until they came back in May, when the season was over or something, wherever they were coming back. What the fuck was he doing? Every door destroyed. Jack, what are you doing?
Keep in mind, Jack doesn't know that he has the Shining in the movie, right? Danny gets told here's the Shining. Jack isn't aware. So a lot of that fucked up shit that Jack's being shown is Danny doing that to him. Maybe not really on purpose. More proof about him having the Shining is he opens the fridge, telekinesis. He's a marksman and fucking all this mad shit, but he is the one that opens that, he's using his ability, I was going to make an go back to the colour red there, right? Fucking
Red Acre.
Danny, Red Acre. Oh, yes. Danny's always around the colour red, right? He's always wearing something red, or there's something red in the background. Whenever Olive or Wendy is beside Danny. She's wearing red. When Danny's outside room 257, he's sitting on the red thing right in the middle of the red thing on the ground, and Jack Nicholson starts to become more like Danny, or an adult boy, when he puts on the red jacket and he doesn't take
Takes
it
a
off until
tantrum,
the
looks like
end
he's
of
spitting his
it,
dummy out later on. He's
Yeah.
like, fuck this. Yeah.
Toughen up, you wee prick.
So Ray Acre endorses The Shining.
It was actually one thing I was going to say there. For differences, that's what we're talking about. Differences from the book. There are quite a bit. Like I think, it was a wee thing going back to like I think Kubrick wanted to do a horror of some sort. I think he went through just book after book. Apparently his secretary or something like this was saying that he just was in his office for fucking weeks or months, and all you could hear was fucking noises against the wall. I was him just throwing books at the wall, going no,
Fuck this.
no, and then she said,
mimicking The Shining.
Yeah.
It's the room full
he's
of
in there with
books,
the
winging
ball.
a baseball,
Yeah. But apparently it stopped after a while, and then she went, and then that's when obviously he came across The Shining. But that's what was sitting going. So he obviously loved the book, and then he just ripped everything out of it he didn't like, which is quite a bit. And he just kept the basis of whatever it was he wanted to work with. But I didn't. I haven't read the book, so I can't really judge. Sort of, but a lot of people say with the miniseries that was remade, Kubrick was more of a fan of that, or after King was more of a fan of that.
Exactly pleased with.
But King hated the movie, did he not? Like apparently,
I know he wasn't.
but he was involved quite a bit with it. Like I think he wrote one of the early screenplays or something for
he
it.
got to write the original fucking script or whatever screenplay, and Kubrick more or less came in and goes, right, we're not using that. Did the second draft.
And they kept rewriting because that's the thing. Like Nicholson eventually just started learning his lines on the day of shooting because they just kept rewriting them, and he just learned them on the day. Like that obviously added to his
documentary, like he has
yeah.
to kind of double check. Like they were sitting there and they're going over it kind of quite thoroughly. Like, it
Just
looks like they're setting those things up.
Exactly.
Like, right. What is it? Right, I got it. That's another thing too. His off the cut kind of like involvement adding to the script. You saw it in that part as well, where the scene where he's getting interrupted when he comes up and he's like trying to explain to her like the premise of how you come up to me when I'm in here writing. Doesn't exactly say it in the heaviest way. He actually just flips it.
How many
But
takes was that again?
He's a prick.
Apparently
Like,
that was
you
his
get the fuck
words,
out of
his
here.
dialogue.
Oh my God, wasn't it?
Because the thing that he was given, he was kind of saying to Stanley Kubrick was just like, you wouldn't say it, and I'm paraphrasing here, but you wouldn't really say it this way. Like, so apparently Jack Nicholson used his own real life experiences in that scene, like, and that was all from his own kind of.
I think I read that, man. He's an uncredited writer, like Jack Nicholson was a writer.
If you watch that clip again, see that part again, and you just watch how he addressed it to Wendy, and you're just like, it's awful. It's one of those things where nothing's held back. He's just like saying straight to her, like,
man, the performance,
this is important to me. You know, you have to have respect, you know what I mean? So he doesn't show it, you know, but he's using his own, experiences, harsh, experiences.
Typing, it means I'm
Well,
working.
so
But
when,
like,
but
he
watching
used-
that
he
scene,
used-
like that
he
scene,
used
he's
what works
just.
to
We were
him.
watching there last week again, and when he does it, he's a pure prick 1 minute, and then when she
Yeah.
walks away, he has that like a split second moment of just the look he gives, and he looks like he regrets. Like there's still something there, man, it's just a performance.
And
Like it
especially
could turn from
that
look at him as
rattle,
being a
doesn't it?
prick woman, and then going and think, fuck, well, there's still something there, like, and he obviously feels what he just did, like,
Yeah.
you know.
It comes across so
Unreal,
well because
that.
he had to use something from his real life, and it comes off as authentic. You're like, fucking hell, you know. You're like, that's great acting. It is great acting, but he's also reacting, kind of reliving something there. You know.
One of my favourite bits is not even him. Well, he is acting, but he's not saying anything. It's when Danny comes in and he's got the jumper ripped and all. She's going,
Well,
all it's going
foreshadowing
nuts.
of what
Yeah,
happened,
and he's just doing that lean as if to go, huh?
yeah.
How the fuck? And as if to go like, yeah,
As if he
hold on
doesn't
that
even
fucking
know it
scene,
was him or
yeah.
not.
yeah. I just love that reaction. Just
It was 3 years
That
ago.
face, yeah.
You know the review's coming, but it's held so well. You're like,
That's what would bring up. Like,
See
what
him in
do
the
you
distance,
think?
like,
Do you think it was the woman in the room that did that, or was it Jack that did that to him?
a woman in the room for that case because he looks so genuine. Like,
yeah.
what is this all about?
so you can actually go two ways. If it wasn't haunted, obviously it was fucking Jack.
I believe
If you wanna
like
go with a
Jack didn't lay
realistic
one hand on
approach
any
to
of them throughout the movie. I don't think back. Jack didn't lay his hand at all on them.
No.
So at all until they escaped.
Pennywise,
Think about it.
there's been times where it hasn't been able to get the kid that he went after, so it could have been one of them.
I kept thinking-
Because it's always after kids,
They
like,
have to
yeah.
get Danny, you know.
Well,
Danny ran away.
see with that theory from Lincoln with it and everything about looking for weaker people. And I always once that came in, the clearest thing came in my head was maybe it's just looking for Wendy. Because she's more of a victim,
Very
because
susceptible,
most of
yeah.
the scenes with her, I noticed as well, most of the scenes with her is she's always wearing clothing under clothing, especially cover her neck and everything, and never see her neck the whole way through it.
So you
she's had more
mean
domestic
whatever it is, it's only
abuse
after
or
one
something.
victim, one person?
I
that's
think,
her.
as you said, maybe once they realised something was going on with Danny, that it couldn't really go for him directly. Maybe, okay, here's someone even just as fucked up. The character Wendy going for that, because...
But I would look at
I
it.
felt that whenever
Yeah,
she
there.
started to see what they were. What
I see it more as a Wendy film, to be honest.
But
Most of the
that's what I was
times.
going to say. I see Wendy as being probably the strongest character in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because of the shit she's gone through, she's as I say, she's a mother bringing up a kid, and then a former fucking alcoholic husband who
Yep.
has
She does fight
has
back,
hurt her
you know,
child before,
which
so
is
she might have been victim to his abuse before. I don't know, so she's quite strong in that way. And man, watching that film, you feel for her.
Oh,
Like going up
jeez.
those stairs, we were watching, going just to, like
know,
she. Well,
yeah.
you're reading that she had to do it 120 odd times.
I just
Went
wanted
at it
to-
man, you feel for her. Like what?
She's trying to be sensible. She was like explaining to him in a rational kind of way out of fear, and she's like, "You've had your whole fucking life." But that coming forward is just so there's a realism
Even
about it.
before that, there's near the start of the movie, you know when they first enter that big ballroom?
Yeah.
Or the gold room, I think it's called. Watch where she makes a comment to Jack about you can get a good party going here, and then she does this speech straight forward. You can see the timidness and the nervous and that.
Yeah.
She's trying to entertain him, you know.
The
Like,
characteristics of someone
kinda,
who
because
is
he's
being-
walking with the hands in his pockets the whole time, just like, right, gonna have to go here and show
She's
them
trying to hold
around.
herself back, you know what I mean? But still, oh fuck.
You all about the scene where they're shown around.
Yeah.
Because there's another way I think I just came across there. Apparently, you can see the current caretaker just cleaning up before he leaves. Jack spots him, and then once he spots him,
Where?
Jack has a wee limp, like he does at the end. Does like a wee limp thing, but again, it could be these things people are just looking for too much.
What scene was that, man?
I
Sorry.
say no when they come into the hotel, so there's that big pan shot. As they're walking through, they're almost in a line themselves.
Right.
The manager's showing them around.
Do you
and-
see the windows in that
the
shot?
windows, so again in the background, I don't know if he's cleaning the window, he's doing something at a fireplace. They say that's the current guy who looks after the caretaker stuff. The caretaker stuff, and as soon as Jack spots him, Jack goes into a wee bit of a limp that he has at the end of the film. It could mean, it can mean nothing.
I
Like,
heard
but-
about him before that, and then seeing the picture, and then him.
Oh,
playing,
there's
and there's
something
another
to
thing
that.
we were saying, there's a bit after Jack is accused of hitting Danny. When he goes and finds the gold room, there's a big long hallway shot every mirror he walks past.
You can't see his reflection.
He does a wee fucking jerk or something. You can't to try and distract himself from his own
It's every
reflection.
one of
It's
every
every
one.
mirror that he comes past, and then he enters the room and
Like the wee Tom,
you know.
he's wearing the red
Yeah,
jacket
yeah.
and all.
So it's almost wee things that go. Maybe he does think he hit Danny and he can't look at himself, or he's done stuff.
I don't
and,
know if
I
you
don't
can't
know.
see it in the last. Someone might have pulled that scene apart and suggested that you can't see him in the last mirror, but maybe because he's actually. I
But
mean,
he
you're
has
not
no
even
reflection.
conscious
Oh, right,
reflection.
right.
But there's something about
The
when
bar
you-
mirror, the
Where's
mirror
that?
in the bar, I think.
behind the guy. But I don't.
You see the
ever
barman's reflection, we don't see
You can't
his.
see
so-
that. Well, I was going to say about when he enters. What you're saying about that scene where they all enter in a line together, where they go from that shot of the big windows, and then when they go into the office area, when they're trying to establish where everything is in the movie. Apparently, when everything goes down in the movie, that location is somewhere else.
It can't exist.
It's
Yeah,
like-
that
it's
window
like-
doesn't
it's like
exist.
It's like apparently at the start of the movie, the pan shot of the hotel, you don't see where the maze.
No.
The maze isn't there or something.
Yeah, like the hotel that
I
they
don't know
did
if
for the
that's-
exterior
I
shots
need
didn't
to
actually
see it
have the
again.
maze. The maze was only out, I think. I think that was actually just created for the film.
Yeah.
But the hotel they used for the exterior shots wasn't.
But where that's
Speaking
supposed
of
to
that,
be
I
in the
love
movie.
that fucking transition where Jack's
Oh, yeah,
looking down
yeah.
on the maze, and then it's you see them
Yeah,
walking
yeah.
in, and you're expecting them to look up and see a massive Jack. But
Oh man, there's so many good fucking just cinematically some good moments. One of the most interesting things for me when I think of when someone says The Shining, I don't think of that. You kind of do. You have that image of The Shining of him breaking through the door. But for me, it's actually a similar look. But when he's seeing them, I think it's
Out
when
the
it's
window,
snowing.
just-
yeah, where he's just there for a moment absorbing it. There's so much that you can pull from just that itself, just as for someone who just loves performances like that. There's something about just.
There's so many
dedication
iconic
of
shots at it, man.
Being
like,
in a role like that, it's just seeing great acting like
That's where mine goes back to the whole fucking. That face
His
again,
expressions
just
are just so
what?
fucking great. Yeah, but that scene,
Even that shot
it's very
following
unsettling.
one of my favourite
That's
shots
one
that
of those.
following Danny around on the wee trike, and it's
Yeah.
just the noise. No soundtrack was it? Just the noise of the floor and then the carpet, the floor,
So
and then the
evidence
carpet,
of
and
it.
then he comes around the corner. It's the two wee girls, and then.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
But it's just that shot, man. It's just I know King's just King, fucking Kubrick. King, get the fuck out of here! Like Kubrick just had fucking just a knack for those shots, like didn't he? Like,
cinematography, but he's always praised for that. Like.
that's what I wanted to bring out. Connor was probably the man
The
actually
act
asked
scene
about.
as well, back and forth,
Yeah.
following the panels,
man.
you know.
It's the Steadicam.
Yeah.
You probably know a whole lot more about that one, Connor. Like that was one of the first films to utilise that. And the guy who invented that Steadicam, I'm trying to find the fucking name. I want to credit him, like, you know.
You can take notes.
Garrett Brown.
Yeah.
He worked with The Shining. I know, so the inventor of that actually worked. I don't know if that's probably the first official film. Yeah, because it would be. You could class that as being the first film that the inventor worked on it.
Not even just that, it's just the way they had. You saw the way the cameras were done, especially in the kitchens with the extra pulleys and stuff to just get it completely smooth. Because, especially Kubrick, with composition, he would do stuff a lot like Ford and stuff would do for westerns, without using a lot of doors and stuff to help for framing and all. So you'll see more, and obviously in 2001 Space Odyssey and all, the camera just spans right past the door where he's old. No, the seat just turns around. No, the fucking golden that fucking turn. That one.
But Steadicam, like what? Like is that? Like,
well, that version at the time was more. It was like a dolly rig that was just coming. That was smooth enough the track, and they could use wee pulley wheels.
But they were limited on that with the track. So
yes. Compared to even like say 20 odd years ago, that's even like say about even 10 years after The Shining. And all this still wasn't developed right and all. So it's very limited. But everything's on track. Everything's smooth. So they were doing a lot of those hallway scenes. And there's I think it's the scene where Wendy comes running in to get him. I think that just this wee side shot to come in, but some of the smoother ones, even between the axe hit the door, but when Jack's coming into the gold room, when it's filled out this time, just that smooth in between the doorways,
like very little cuts.
Very little. It's very. I love it's the best way to do it for utilising space. Like we've done things like that before in some other short films we've done. There's one take where if you see like you're walking down the street and off again, instead of doing a cut, just using the space a lot better. It's just
established shots. Yeah,
it works for that film. Longer shots are better in that film.
And there's every film now pretty much use that Steadicam shot. Like any film we watch now, like where we don't really recognise it because we're used to it now.
It's part of film language. Once you start seeing things get there, it's like using certain beats and all from music. Oh, like Jaws did, and people start going right. Well, I need something, I guess, to build up suspense now. So yeah, you start seeing a bit of the first things coming in.
People would have, when you seen The Shining for the first time, going, it just looks different, would have?
Yeah,
it would have
been something that even now, if you see something for the first time, it's not really registered. Sometimes you can completely just
because black and white films have a certain look to them, don't they? The way they're a lot of times they're just one quick shot. Was it like almost like a theatre sort of set? So just let's get the shot done, boys. Whereas like. So that's what have been the difference probably with back then when The Shining came out.
Well, again, you're thinking back then, but you're saying back then. You're talking about 1980, so a lot of cinema's already been
innovative kind of ways of.
Think of Kubrick even before that. Like he was doing Spartacus and everything before all this. You know, yeah. So he's done the big epic fucking set movies and all these. He's done all this.
Yeah.
I think that was what The Shining was probably one of his last few projects, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Because I know what the last one was. Eyes
Down.
Wide Shut. What was before Eyes Wide Shut? Because I think that would have been after then The Shining. Because before this he did Clockwork Orange alright. Before that, let me try and check this out. We'll get Wikipedia on here. But
Clockwork Orange. It's a weird kind of movie. It's not as enjoyable as The Shining, but there's some moments in there.
It's fucked up as well.
For cinematography, just fucking.
Which again could be something that we'd easily just pick up on. We could either dedicate something to Kubrick down the line, or start picking through some of the top threes that we have. At least we'll establish a top three system for that.
I'm gonna be. I'll tell you, but I haven't seen. Was it 2001?
Oh, fantastic.
That has to be on the list. Like,
it's up there.
I have to see that there, because again, but I know like what Interstellar is quite inspired by. It wasn't that.
Man, it's very cut and paste at times, but the
scale is kind of similar in a way. Like they're going fucking out there. Like this is going to be it's not going to be for everyone. Do you know what I mean? And that's kind of what 2001 is. It's really
compared to say other Kubrick stuff where he was doing a lot more groundbreaking, like big efforts, like I said, like Spartacus or 2001, or some more like pulpy kind of stuff of like Clockwork Orange. Here's something that's just literally an adaptive work basically.
Yeah. See, was 2001 based on it? Was it that
Arthur Clarke's book.
Oh. So most of Kubrick's work is based on something.
Well, he's always said that how can I come up with something better than authors can, really, that kind of thing. But which can be fair at times, but then again, there's some people that are just more like that you can hand them here's a rundown of what I want, and they can. That's what a director's supposed to really be there for. To take here's their interpretation of your work.
Yeah.
You base them on that. So if anyone could fucking do it, at that time there wasn't really any more standout fucking directors. they could take on something, I guess.
Man, looking at his fucking
Ambitious
filmography,
characters like that, yeah.
he obviously didn't do a whole lot of films. But after The Shining, he took 7 year. Well, no, I'm not going to say 7 year break because he's always working on something. Next film was The Full Metal Jacket.
But just remember as well with this man, if he was doing like with the area, say for like the scenes in the hotel itself, he was finding out right the history of that area, the history of like, so he knew about like the Indian tribe, all that kind of stuff. He was incorporating that stuff within pictures, everything, and submerged himself and everything in that. He did that for all films he was doing. So
like
he would need an offload period, but he would also need all that preparation time to just understand. He would research fucking everything.
Quality over
Oh
quantity.
god, yeah.
Then after Full Metal Jacket, his next film was what? I think it was Eyes Wide Shut then, and that was a fucking 1989. So it was a 12-year break then.
But Full Metal Jacket was an excessive shoot for him. Most of it was filmed in England.
Full Metal.
Yeah, Vietnam scenes a whole lot in England.
Maybe just a couple of establishing shots.
You see, they brought in palm trees. No, that's the he loves filming in England. Yeah,
that's what I was saying. Yeah.
so he's just like, I'm not going. You bring it.
Like the build at the time, at the time, like the full Overlook Hotel set was the biggest set built in was it Elstree Studios?
Yeah.
in Hertfordshire. We Hertfordshire, the pop there, cheap pop.
But I love that. That Vivian Kubrick, the daughter, did that wee film. The behind the scenes kind of thing, and there's that great shot of just Jack himself coming out of the hotel room in one long take, go down the stairway, light the cigarette, having a crack, talking away. As soon as he comes over, he acknowledges Stanley and all, gets ready for the next take. But you can see the setup from that giant fucking set, the boarded off areas and all. You see, there's another great one where they're getting ready for the ballroom scene, and you can see this division in the room. Here's the whole set. Behind there is the areas for the actors, and that's split in two. All the women on this side, all the men on this side. And the women's area has this massive mirror going the length. And they're all sitting there one beside each other, like this here, all working away, getting everything done. And the scene's just sitting on the other guys on the other side fucking about botoxes and all that shit. So you can see the excessive amount of details going through all that. Certain people having braids in the hair, and he's looking for wide shots going, right, that's not filled out enough over there. Used to over there.
And I'm giving us to the extras.
Oh, the extra scene. You ever see that one? I love that. The production manager's going round with the clipboard on going, right, Stanley says we need more people down the back. Because in the wide shot, there's a couple of people, it just looks too bare down there, right? And you can see him saying it to the people. And I've done this before when you're dealing with extras, and you come around and go, right, I need a couple of people to move. Because they want to be front and centre for every take, and you see that face, as if to go, I'm not saying anything till you say it.
You'd be picked.
So you can see the production manager going, used to, come with me. And you just see them reluctantly going.
Used to, I'm going to be over here.
You're going to be behind the boss.
They're so reluctant, but it's in that clip, you can see it in their face going,
Did you see him going on the microphone then? When you're just pretending to talk, don't actually talk. Just mime it.
Yeah.
Mime. Don't really do anything too big with your arms neither, for fuck's sake.
yeah, because there will be, you
You can tell he has someone, man, there's
No.
no... He's just sick of extras. He just doesn't like extras. If he could, he would CGI them, but CGI didn't really
You have to work
take off at that stage.
Well, one of them, in the memoriam shots we did, we had someone, the mourner in the background, and we said the same instruction, nobody talk, just look sad. And he's in the background, he's fucking chewing the scenery as if to go. He might as well be against the wall, like, why? And
This is my moment.
he didn't get. We had to reshoot everything anyway,
More emotion.
and he didn't get the call back. We didn't ask him to come back because he chewed the scenery.
It's typical, but I was going to say.
So he has discipline.
You know,
Wait by the phone never sends him on.
No.
you know
calls
how
never came.
meticulous,
Wait, don't phone us. Wait, phone
You have my number. I'll call you later, man. I'll call you later.
Facebook.
In those videos, you can see the extensive, meticulous work in every little bit of detail, and it comes across on screen. You see it, but like the little bit of experience I saw working on as a background artist, very very briefly, seeing the extent of all the little bit of props and everything that was everything on screen. Like I'd pick up like a wee fucking. I was doing the Scylla thing. We were like it was supposed to be 1960s era, and everything was based. You wouldn't not see nothing was out of place. It was to the T. Like you even pick up little things and going. They've actually gone. You probably wouldn't see that anywhere. You're looking at the fucking detail, and that just.
So there'd be
that
specific
thing,
departments for that, wouldn't there? Be like
absolutely, yeah, big teams of people and stuff. But like just based on like that's now today. Do you know what I mean that's the kind of standard?
Yeah, that is the standard. This is the thing. Whereas that
back
wasn't.
then, so innovative.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like I'm sure there will be other things followed. Like usual talk about the Steadicam and stuff, and ideas of, like making these shots possible and stuff. But no, just saying like I kind of understand a little bit of what that's like, and it must be a fucking nightmare trying to keep continuity for things. Just and then asking people. And I've been there where people are like overacting or focusing on themselves, and you're only look. You have to understand your role here. You know what I mean? I love doing that. I love being kind of directed around and kind of like do this small part, and hopefully you come across well. You don't want to overdo it. You want to be. You're not going to be. You don't want to be noticed as much. You just want to blend in. But hopefully you come across.
Try to be natural.
Well, I've noticed here from that documentary as well. Even, but he was actually very like, as you said, he is strict when it comes to his form for what he wants to get across. But yet he was on the other side of that, he was more adaptable. They go for other takes. Him talking to Shelley, fucking going through certain. He's just like, look, that's not going to work. This is why it's not going to work. And everything, but you know that there's examples where he's going right. Okay, let me do it your way, and I'll show you why it's not going to work. He's done these different ways.
Well, you like to think out of 100 odd takes, he would give her at least one take of her version.
Well, at least one out of pity, like I'd say. But
sorry, I didn't mean to jump in.
Pity take.
Oh yeah, but I'm saying every reaction recorded. I'm sure he might have. Do you think he was intentionally making certain things stressful for actors to get a certain emotion?
Well, he was doing more of that for himself, to be fair, because at times, like, we've all done it. You plan out an idea, especially when it comes to this. There's only so much you can really stick to when it comes to storyboards and everything. So he does have the idea of what he wants. He's researched the car. He's built up this version from his head, put it down there, and what everyone's wearing, to who he wants in there for each scene. But yet he's still taking the time to absorb the location. You can see the bits where he's sitting there. I tell you what, Jack, leaning against the door here, and I'll give this a go, see what it looks like from here.
I love that.
That's one of the most iconic shots for the film. That's literally on the spot, taking use of the time to look around. Yeah. When he's doing more of the dolly shots, you can hear him shouting to the guy to bring 4 different lenses to see which one. Well, fuck, we'll bring them all. You know what I mean? Yeah. Have that packed and that one packed, the 40mm, the whole lot ready to go. Just going to try everything here.
Try that version, but talk down to me. You know what I mean? That scene.
Now there's scenes where he's got more control. Obviously, he's got times where he's got the snow, the fake snow, and everything being dumped outside. And everything.
Too loud. And
so that's kind of stuff you can't really deviate from. That stuff that's been pre-planned, everything else. But yet he still had that freedom and to walk around and fucking tell you what, to lie down here, see what this one looks like from here.
Fucking in the fridge shot.
Yes, that's the shot.
Yeah, fucking amazing.
So he was adapted. It's one way to honour the craft he's done, but yet again as well to just give a nod to the fact he was willing to step back a few times, just not as serious maybe. I think everyone takes him such a myth about the man because he was like you've mentioned about how reclusive he was at times and all, and he spent more time on his own as most of us probably would as well to hone our craft. So I think definitely there's a bit more of a mystique put on about him. Grandmaster. Is that? But duly fucking well deserved, to be fair, because it is something that it's embedded in pop culture between the images, the story, the whole lot. Everyone's at least watched it by now. So I don't see it going away anytime soon. It's going to be something that's always going to be reviewed. It's always going to be mentioned with filmmakers. The whole lot.
Kubrick's probably fucking studied in classes and stuff and.
Not well. When we were uni, it wasn't really brought up. There was more emphasis on other directors.
Probably studies probably all over like huge time, like big time, but not be
blacklisted though. Like.
That's another thing as well. Yeah.
He's a pioneer.
What did he do to that now?
Some of his movies.
Eyes Wide Shut and stuff about the Bill Norton, but.
See, I haven't watched Eyes Wide Shut, but I heard Eyes Wide Shut's quite out there, like.
I don't have a lot of memories of it, but I did watch it once.
That's why since we're on, it's like his next film after that, before he fucking passed away, it was supposed to be AA then, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So him and Spielberg were supposed to be good friends, and what apparently he wanted to do a movie like Spielberg, like a big family blockbuster or something.
Yeah, I think that was the aim, but that's a weird one, but AI and stuff, I wouldn't really consider a Kubrick film or even Kubrick at all.
You can't now, because that's what you can only imagine, man. You can only imagine what it could be like, you know. Because when you think of AI, when you look at it as being a Spielberg film, I forget about it half the time.
Yeah,
I was, hey, do you remember that? I couldn't tell you much about it. I could tell you about maybe the Pinocchio.
I could tell you more about that one actually.
But like a Pinocchio aspect of it or something, wasn't it? Like, but. I like the idea of it, but it doesn't really stand out a lot.
It's weird because it's a
so what's the Kubrick and Spielberg connection out with AA? Because
they were,
apparently it was written by Stanley Kubrick, and then Spielberg made the movie after he died or something.
Yeah.
Or
almost as talk because they were friends apparently. Anyways,
I don't know if that movie's been in. Was about being made into a movie or something. I don't know.
I think it was at least in.
I know it was.
I think he was about to be doing some sort of production with it, like he was in post production or something. Or something with it. Could have been building the robot. I don't know.
Would you say, basically, in all this would be the go-to Kubrick? If you're going to get someone in the Kubrick kind of films, this would probably be one of the ones to put forward to them.
I'd nominate.
You can't hand them over 2001: Space Odyssey.
No, that's why I think if you said a lot of people about Kubrick, I don't think you would hear The Shining quite a bit. Like I think a lot of people go, as you said, 2001 or maybe Clockwork Orange and stuff, but Shining maybe is always maybe third named or something. Maybe, but to me, like it's The Shining. You know what I mean?
I used to think 2001, but I know I don't enjoy all of 2001. There's more moments in that movie that I like the, certain like shots that are there just to kind of like to get you like fucking deep into the we're here, this is the premise of the movie. Some like long shots, sometimes that movie it's just like it's overdoing it. I'm just like this story isn't really going anywhere. It's such a slow pace, right? 2001. But I do like
the plot, but the plot is razor thin, like it is to that point. But
I think
this is
the majority of the start of the movie. But then I think the first 40 minutes of the movie, I'm just like, fucking hell, come on, like, just fucking get there. Like.
Is that the one with Rick Flores?
Yeah.
But fuck that's I'd say like just after watching it twice. I've seen it twice now before.
I stick out 3 hours for that.
I'd say it's the best one to go for. I'd nominate The Shining.
Well, what would you say then would be your favorite? Like again, because that would probably we can all say that then that would be the kind of go-to film for getting someone into that. So, what kind of scene would be something that you would nominate someone to watch? Like a particular scene that does stand out. Say your favorite scene in it.
Well, if you're gonna recommend all The Shining as well, I'd recommend Eyes Wide Shut as well, just to see what did they. Why was he blacklisted? You know, what did he say?
So John, you're being very mysterious about this. I'm going to have to go and watch it now when I get home here.
Be prepared.
So I asked you, what's he done?
Be prepared, like, but but favourite scenes we're going through are memorable moments with your therapist myself. Right, well we might have the same picks, do you know what I mean? But if you do, we just get a wee chime on it. 3 scenes that stick out to me would be no particular order, right?
Can we get a wee top 3 jingle put in here and post in post edit? Top 3, number 3.
If you make it, yeah.
As long as you
I just did it.
3 moments. Top 3 coming now.
Just a wee pause for the edit there.
Right, well, no particular order, but
top 3.
When your man Scatman, his character, the Kirk from the Losers Club, he's coming up. You think he's coming to save the day, and he's been sending out distress signals to him. Let's need help.
The Scatman
My
signal.
dad's going fucking mental, not realising that he's probably making him go mental. On the burial ground and all the stuff, whatever. But he's coming up the hallway, and I was watching it for the first time. I thought he was going to save the day. Do you know what I mean? Then he gets to that last pillar, boom, right in the chest with the axe. By right there's him going, and then off he goes limping. Another wee scene that I like is when Jack goes into the bar for the first time, sits down at the bar and he's just looking down the table. Then he does that look up. And then the wee smile, starts talking to the I think that's great.
Lloyd.
Great. Not a word spoken, but just, what would you use? Any favourite? There's another one, but...
You said 2 out of 3 there.
It's slipping my mind.
Top 1!
I've got a question for John, right? So, can you remember the first time... Can you remember when you first watched this movie? Like, was it years ago? Was it just like... Was it something... Did you have like a fond memory from... When you think of The Shining, when you think of The Shining, what comes to mind first thing?
Here's Johnny, but because I heard the line from my uncles before I've seen the movie, and then obviously I'd seen that picture, and then I remember seeing, I think the axe scene was the first scene I ever saw of it, and then I purchased it on VHS from some second-hand store thing growing up, and then suck it in, you know what I mean? Class.
Was that exact noise?
Yeah. Any particular favourite moments from any of you, so I can remember this other one?
Right, well, I can tell you, I already mentioned one of mine, and it was the scene where he's confronted with Wendy. He's just interrupted, in his mind he's interrupted. She's only trying to talk to him, fuck's sakes. The reason why I'm going to say that scene first, because it's very memorable for the very fact that from what I know, from what I've been told, he used his own dialogue in that scene. He replaced the dialogue given. I think they were using it from the book, and he just didn't see it fit for the scene. Do you know what I mean? So that scene is fucking incredibly well done and presented. I actually like, before it starts, as an editor, I love how the music of that scene is getting to a peak. And there's a lot of tension, and then she comes in, and at the same time, I think there's a string instrument, must be like a violin, something goes ring, and it's the same, almost very similar to the typewriter.
The ribbon and the typewriter, yeah.
Yeah, man, and I'm just telling you, it's fucking perfect. I can almost see it, you know, as like in a digital format of like how that would work. I'm just like, oh, it's fucking brilliantly well done. You know what I mean? So that scene comes to mind.
Bruh, fucking,
Another scene for me, just purely on an actor's face, just watching him, just being so expressive. And you did mention the bar scene. I love how you brought that first shot where you were saying there's nothing said. But I also like that scene in particular, not knowing, but fucking when I'm gonna watch it again, I'm gonna watch it for this, realizing that scene was so rehearsed between him and that bartender. They repeated so well because they wanted to have that relationship.
6 weeks rehearsal.
Was it?
Holy fuck. Just alone for
it. That scene is fucking well done. I love how he's explaining and trying to he's trying to like put across why justify what he did. Like, I'm not violent, but you just fucking grab him. And
the little son of a bitch.
Yeah, the way he said it.
I love the little son of a bitch.
Oh, wow. That's almost. I could have said that scene where he's sitting down with him. He looks very creepy there. That's fucked up.
Man. Do you like this place?
Yeah, I don't want. I'm sure it's one of your listeners. It's a fucked up scene.
Stay here.
So well done, like just such a for an actor. Even the wee kid does well in that scene. But no, the scene I'm talking about is the that fucking with the bartender. He's explaining why he's done what he's done. Fucking so well done. Fucking third. If I was to pick a third one, I'm not too sure. I'm like yourself. I'm just kind of like hovering. I know there's other moments, but
that wee line, the Nobby line comes to mind in that scene where
he's
brought up. How long was it? 6 weeks.
6 weeks rehearsal, yeah.
I like you, Earl. You know that.
Always
right.
Yeah.
You know.
And they talk about from 9 a.m. to start and they finished at 10:30 at night. And your boy said he was just soaked in sweat or something by the end of it. But he says it's obviously it'd be his favourite scene in the film. Obviously, you know.
Sure.
He's
Conor, what about yourself? Moments
Top
for you, yeah.
Top 3 for me were very easy enough ones. I just love how fucking ridiculous Dick Halloran's fucking room is. He needs 4 lamps.
Yeah.
2 2 parallel pictures of fucking naked women with massive afros.
Big booty bitches.
Oh man,
big booty afro bitches.
It's him looking so comfortable lying on his wee bed, just sitting there loving life.
Here, I was watching it at the same time that scene come up. My feet, I was watching it with Pippa. My feet were parallel. And I started going, I'd let my feet maybe look. No, I know.
Inception, man. Yeah. Movie Inception.
Sorry, man.
The wee tour, I like the wee tour. Jack is after getting his head beaten, and he's lying in the freezer room, and then they get that shot where he's hearing a noise and fucking stuff going on the door. But you look at the floor, and it's Munch City. Yeah. There's Oreo. Peanut butter, a massive jar of peanut butter. He's got Oreos, he's got crisps, everything lying around. I'm like, stop. Yeah,
they get time for a munch now.
Yeah, severe head injury, but munch needed. So that would be up there as well. It's just that visual, just him just getting ready, getting up and going. Actually, the dragon scene where he gets in, he gets a wee bit more conscious as he goes along and all. It's kind of cool because I've been there with fucking I've been there with head injuries and all before, so it is kind of like that. Definitely number 1 though. I did bring it up before. It's that one clip of him with the hand slowly turning, going like, "What? wait, you did this? You had up?" He's just like, "What?" He's like, I've been here in front of you the whole time. He's just looking, going, this jumper and all.
It's almost like a caught you out, and he's like, no, I've been doing it.
No, but he does have that face. We've all had that face before. Someone said something to us like, what you do? Like, accusing you of something. You have that face going, no, what? I've been here the whole time, kind of thing. So,
John.
Just thinking of that high school story. Or made spleen falling over a stool on the opposite end of the room. And the teacher blaming me. John! I'm right beside him.
Yeah. So you have that face to like, what the fuck? No.
Very relatable expression.
Funny enough, that face you'll pull at least once a week if you're driving. You see someone just doing something, so you're just like, you'll do that whole face like, is he fucking dense?
There's no words, man.
So those are my, obviously, you know, I do take it a wee bit more serious at times, but I do fucking love Kubrick's work. I love The Shining in particular. But then again, if you've had to rewatch things, I guess, so many times, nowadays with film like that, I can just sit back and go, right, I'm just going to have what fucking stupid stuff can I pull out of this? Like, if I was going to make a spoof of The Shining, what stupid stuff would I
fruit
amplify?
cocktail jokes.
The fruit cocktail jokes is one of the ones we bust out laughing
We
with.
had Wendy munching all the fruit cocktail cans in the fucking hotel, and
Yeah,
that's what he
all
cracked
she's
on.
making is fruit cocktail, this massive
The
tin.
cherries, she got about 8 cherries out of 15 cans.
I'll have to look at that again.
It's stupid. There's like 3 boxes of Oreos to do the entire 6 months are there, and then there's tons of peanut butter and fucking meat and everything. That's about it.
Dick Halloran took all the with him.
Aye.
I'm digging the Oreos.
Aye. Big trailer in the back and all.
Whenever he leaves and starts to drive the car on the way back, he's got
He's
the
munching on
pictures.
them.
He's got them pictures, one on the back and one on the front.
Have to be surrounded by naked women.
I know.
And then when Danny and Wendy get into the thing at the end, going, just get in there, just get in there. Don't look at those pictures. Don't look at those pictures. Why the fuck did he bring them?
No.
I don't go anywhere without those pictures.
I think with us, we get to look back. It was a bit of homework and stuff, but it's not like it's one of those bits. If someone said you, "Oh, do you mind watching Shining for me?" That's fucking easy homework to do. Like, so at least this time round, I didn't have to take it as serious. So my top 3 are obviously just fucking out there a bit. So what about you? You've got yours.
I don't have top 3. I'd say I think we're just kind of avoiding the typical cliche Johnny. Here's Johnny scene, because I think that's up there for everyone. It's a given.
That,
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a great build up to it's coming. And
Yeah, if you take
Oh,
the whole
totally.
build up, yeah, then definitely.
When you're watching that
Cinematography
film,
of
I've got a
that-
move-
of that
pause.
axe scene, the
Keep
camera
that
involved when he acts each fucking hit.
like when you're watching that film, you're timing it. You're going, oh, it's coming, it's coming, you know. But other scene is probably him with the bat. You know what I mean? Walking up the stairs.
That was the line.
Man, it's just that
was the
shot.
line.
You know what I mean? It's just her creeping back ever so slowly, and it's just the lines that he's coming out with, and then it's her acting is also unreal. I think in that scene, it's just like she's about to crack, literally. You know,
unsettling.
it's up there. Another scene I'd say with mentioned of Danny going around the wee trike. I think that's just a class shot. Just,
This is the one over the carpet onto the wood and back. Yeah.
and then eventually there's the 2 wee girls.
You should have mowed them down.
Rounded off to 3, but cleaned them. But another scene, I don't know. Third scene.
Bear.
I don't want to say that's being a fair thing because it's just fucked up. Man.
That's
You know what I
guilty
mean?
pleasure. Saying, I
guilt.
fucking love that one.
Not my proudest fat black. You know what I mean?
The guilt.
No, I'm avoiding that scene as bad. I say, and then maybe I say it was something about the maze. I say I know it's not a scene in particular, but I think I mentioned this to you by Daki. There's a guy online who used to do Mythbusters and stuff, and he has his own channel on YouTube called Tested, and he made his own full scale maze.
Shout out to Tested.
I don't know the boy's name from Mythbusters. You know, somebody probably correct me now or something, you know. But
Actually, something else.
yeah, but a full scale replica as best as he could get it. Now it's in the Kubrick Museum, so it's the best he could fucking make it. And it's just something about that, just the scale of it and stuff. It's just it's class. Like, Maze is about just intriguing me itself. I think that's probably from the film. You know what I mean? And it's just the idea of based in a haunted hotel. It's cool. I think that's probably where they got it from. That's what I wanted to bring up to you actually, because it didn't. The whole ancient Indian burial ground is that cliche come from The Shining.
I don't know.
know.
What was first? Shining the Poltergeist? Shining
Well, no, Poltergeist I think was 78.
Well, it's Poltergeist explained through
I
ancient.
don't know if it's ancient Indian burial ground, but it was a burial ground
Yeah.
of some sort.
It looks like Shining probably was before.
But then again, you think of the book out first.
So now when I can
Yeah,
relate
it's
to
really
being
good.
old is maybe Amityville. So that was
Amityville
heavily
was a
about
classic too,
Indian
yeah.
Indian burial ground, wasn't it?
First one.
But I think it maybe one of
82 for Poltergeist, sorry, mixed up.
So Shine's.
Oh, yes.
Well, what about Amityville? When's that come on? That's bound to be 80s as well, is it? Not the Ram Rounds one.
Can I just put in my third moment? That I was holding back. It was, you just mentioned it. That scene.
79, so 1 year before.
So Amityville was first maybe on the
Yeah.
Indian burial ground thing.
I mentioned my movie. No, go
No,
ahead.
go for it. That's me. That's all my.
Well,
all
one
my
of my, it was a line I was thinking of, but it's out of that scene there.
So me and JP's last picks here of that scene, it's the same scene. I'll say mine first. It's just the dialogue is so it seems more authentic and it's very very unsettling because you just want her to get the fuck out of there.
Yeah.
And it's just I don't know what. Give me the bed. Because it's tongue out. Give me the bed.
Yeah.
Give me the bed.
Yeah.
It's just at that moment you're like you're getting swung. You know?
Wendy, the light of my life.
That's your favorite.
It's just his
line.
delivery, man.
Yeah,
You could either look at that as being comical, or to me, it's just comically creepy and shit. You mean it's just like you could look at that and hysteria. Like, man, you put Jim Carrey in there, and you're like, that's fucking hilarious, man. That Jim Carrey, you mean all that shit, but. It's just it's just the lines of dialogue, and it's the wee tongue. You can look at it as being a laugh, but you don't.
That reminds me of like fucking all the pictures of the old, it's one of the gods, you know, the Indian gods, if the tongue out, the god of the destruction or death or whatever it is, always has the Kali or something like that. It always reminds me of that, you know.
I don't know if I came across this through The Shining research or something about horns and stuff. Horns is not actually. It didn't really start off like it's like the swastika. Like the swastika would meant something else before the fucking Nazis. Horns actually meant like more positive ideas. Like they're more angelic than anything. They earned them through doing something, and then obviously they just flipped it.
A lot of things do
satanic and stuff, you know.
I did want. Can I just mention? I'm going to forget it because I almost did forget it. There's an honorable mention in here for this scene. I fucking love this one little fucking moment in this movie. And I burst out laughing because I haven't seen this movie in ages. First time watched it recently. He goes to check out that room. Goes back home. Did you see anything? No. Nothing at all. You know, it's so like. You fucking lying bastard, but he does it so fucking well. I just had to say it, just that little moment. No. Well, I can't remember the dialogue verbatim, like, but
my favourite line out of the baseball scene is the baseball bat scene. Is Wendy, I'm not gonna hurt you. I'm just gonna bash your braids in. I'm gonna bash them right the fuck in. You're like, oh my fucking god, run, you silly bitch.
It's so believable. It got mentioned about 3 times. Like,
well, I'm not gonna hurt you. I'm just gonna bash your fucking brains in.
We nod to the first stuntman. I had to do that take probably 120 odd times.
Down the stairs.
He's up there with the guy from Home Alone, whoever did the...
Same guy. No.
Imagine.
It's the one guy from Hollywood.
Jack Hobby Husland, you know what I mean?
We've named our best moments. Conor, where are we now on our list? Like,
oh no, there is no real list. We just go along as we go along. As usual,
we kind of have a format here anyway.
No, we have a format. So it's just because it's so open to different theories. There's a fucking plethora of them. There's so many videos, so many great videos out there as well to be seen. I would definitely recommend anyone that's interested, seen The Shining or hasn't seen it, can watch that. I think it's Vivian Kubrick has done the documentary where it just follows them during film and everything. Yeah, it's pretty fucking good.
Check that out and then check our podcast out.
Obviously come back again.
You're here to check it out. So
don't watch it. Don't listen to our podcast if you haven't seen The Shining. Like any spoilers. Like
fuck yeah, watch it first.
Jack Days.
But anyone that has seen as well, if there's anything that maybe we've been touching upon that maybe we've strayed away from, or do you think there's something that alarm bells we should be really fucking aware of? We're always up for other viewings of the film because it's not actually that long. To be fair, I always thought it was
commentary out, but we'll go there. Like.
I remember seeing the UK version had like fucking 30 minutes cut from it or something. Like there's so many scenes like it was just wasn't it? Like I think you were saying that you sometimes forget about the scene where she runs into the big hall and then there's just skeletons.
I was thinking to myself, hold on, did you guys also see that scene? Because I never remember seeing that.
No, for TV version I think it was cut.
I don't think I ever remembered your mom standing there with the glass saying,
with the glass.
Nice pod. I remember skeletons, but I don't ever remember seeing your mom or hearing him say that line when we were watching.
No, I think for edits we got watching on TV and stuff. As I said, like when during the 90s and so forth, it was back on TV. It definitely would have been cut for over here. Like
especially if it was on ITV.
Oh, ITV was
different dialogue.
On the UT, we're cutting about half an hour out of the film. Good luck, you can't.
Sally Webster's shitting herself because she's watching The Shining.
Because here's Johnny.
Well, I can say there's only one kind of thing about The Shining that I'm not too fussed on.
There's a couple I can say actually.
Is the lack of a real proper soundtrack for me. And I understand the reasons and I appreciate the effect it has on the film. But for me, I always like having a good fucking soundtrack to hear as well going on. Like there is moments when it comes in.
Yeah, definitely.
But
there's a woman who worked on it. Ironically, she's called Wendy.
Wendy.
What's her name? Wendy. She worked with Clockwork Orange with Kubrick before, and then she said she composed the whole thing because she was completely disillusioned with what Kubrick wanted to do. And when she said she composed the whole track for like a scene that was eventually cut from the film. And that was the last time she said, I'm just never working with that madman again. He's a madman!
Well, if you're going to be mentioning that, sure, I have to...
It's maybe because Wendy was also the stunt woman for that. She was the one rolling down the stairs.
Well, definitely another one to mention is another woman here, Diane Johnson, that was sitting with Kubrick the whole way through editing and developing the screenplay. Yeah, he had actually sought out, he had sought out to make sure her name was put on for... public work, like posters and everything. All sought to make sure her name was up there and prominent with his and stuff. Just I made a note. Just considering the current climate going on with movements and everything on about women being better represented. And all there's examples where someone was pushing to get someone in, especially with Diane's name, getting front and centre with theirs to show the work being used on. So I think it's something definitely be commendable because yes, he was harsh as a director and stuff, but then again, it justified the means. You know what I mean? It's went through. As Shelley Duvall, Wendy's always
In the best
said,
performance possible.
she's accredited. Yeah, she's accredited so much the way she. How her acting evolved and everything from that, how she was a bit more disciplined after that, so she welcomes the experience, but obviously it was a fucking experience at the same time. Like, I mean,
do you think it might have anything to do with her mental stability at the moment? She's going through quite a lot at the moment.
I've seen some
Well, she
videos.
looks
It's quite,
stressed.
I don't like the idea of fucking these TV companies taking fucking, taking the piss and like shouldn't be putting her on TV. I'm sorry,
No.
They should
I want
not
to
be
be on
doing
TV.
that
Like.
because they think they're sensationalising and stuff like that. It's just
well, people don't have a conscience when they're putting stuff up at the minute. It's
They
just
just
they want to be
put
first. They don't want to be
something
right. They want to be the first to put something up about them. They don't want to be right about it. So, but we'll be right about The Shining. We've had enough time to look over things for it. And
Actually, you throw in. Have you ever seen the poster they threw out for it? At the time, just we crowd here. Saul Bass designed the theatrical release poster. How the fuck is that?
up at the window.
oh, don't know.
That doesn't look like anyone from the film.
I know it's
That's probably just he's probably doing it going. Oh fuck! I need something that looks a bit.
Have you seen the covers
Colour in.
for the novel? Is it anything to do with the book or anything? Or
That could be a good point.
It could be,
But do you think-
it could be King?
Compared to having
Yeah.
that poster up,
older first edition.
That's why it's gone with that going forward.
Yeah.
Because I don't know who the fuck that is.
Older, like first
only
edition.
yellow or something, wasn't it?
The Game
That's
of
the windy
Thrones
cleaner.
verse.
The
There's
Wendy cleaner.
old versions of them with like proper fucking old school art of one knights and shit. Like, so it might be something based off on
it could be.
first edition or older edition.
But then they're also saying because the eyes look similar to the level things over the
Oh, yeah.
and stuff. So that's one thing I can link that up to. But I don't know where the nose and mouse come from. Sorry, boys, just throwing that in there.
Sorry, yeah.
Check that out. Check out the poster. Not the one we all know, like.
Would it? Right, so anything else you want to
Oh,
cover?
some critical. Can I say some? No, not critical. Some. So we're talking very positively about this movie, but if I was to say if there's anything like negative I don't like about the movie, there's a moment in it where I understand they're trying to like break up whatever's been. They're trying to develop a lot of moments in it, and there's suspense and stuff. But there's a lot of moments where it's just fucking bored the shit out of me. Do you know what I mean? There's those moments that just like, come on, let's get ahead here. Like, it's done for a reason. Do
You
you
want
know?
to grab the axe straight away?
I know.
No, not necessarily.
Just walk around the film with the axe.
I think the
Throwing
movie.
axes at
Don't
people
mind
is
me.
I tell you what, it took me 2 attempts the first time trying to watch this
Type on the
because
typewriter
I came
with the
home,
axe.
intended to watch the movie, got halfway through it, and was really fucking tired. I was like, fuck me, do you know what, there's some moments here that could be cut short. This movie could be like half an hour taken out of it. Do you know
We
what
stick on it about 2 in the morning.
I mean? No,
The first one,
You need to watch the ATV version, man.
yeah,
All that shit's cut.
half an hour in.
No, don't get me wrong, if it was to say anything bad about it, just be like, there's probably some moments in it that probably could be taken out of it just to make the movie more, I don't know. If it was to say anything bad about it.
That's just down to Kubrick's just way of things. I think just with the longer
No,
takes.
completely get it.
Kubrick's like up there going, "What the fuck you mean by that, Daggy?"
No movie's perfect. You know what I mean? No movie's perfect, and it's just like, yeah. If I had the option, to cut certain things, I'd be like, well, we can get to the point a wee bit clear on this little part because we get it, and we be better to. It's good to get away from that location to cut to something else. But whenever we've cut to something else, we get it. Could we get straight to the hotel right now? No, we're still here.
Daggy's checking the watch.
We can fucking get back. No, we're still. Do you know what? Come on, fuck. Okay. Right.
Well, I can
Right,
see
we're here.
Yeah.
So I just think there's moments there. If there's anything to be said, here's a moment for everyone to share a little bit of negativity about the movie.
Right, well, tell me, right, each individually, what do you think's going on in the Kubrick version of the film, man?
What's going on in general? What's the premise? So I think it's
What
a
the heck's-
haunted. I think it's a haunted hotel. He's kind of being lured to take on this position because already got someone before that. Here's another person who's an alcoholic. He's an abuser. The dynamic of the kid having like a special ability is really cool. I like just the idea there's a premise before this that's linked with the other movies or the other novels. I like all that. You kind of get a sense of there's something else before this. Do you know what I mean? I really do. Like, well, what else do you mean by like just like what do I think about like
The explanation for what's going on.
So the last shot you see him in the picture. So I think the whole intention of the movie is to get whoever they can absorbed into this fucking whatever that realm is. It's very secluded. Like they're saying at the start, it's only running for 6 months of the year.
25
What a
miles.
great fucking place.
25 miles from the closest town. Like.
Why the fuck is only open 6 months a year? And why are you able to keep it going for that? Why is it normalised for 6 months of the year?
And
Where
it's
they're
not a
making
ski
money,
resort.
and
Like
they're
the mountains around
"He's
them.
got this here, we got another one to do this road, right, we're closed down. Hopefully, hope the fuck no one else gets killed. To show up again 8 months later, oh shit.
Unless
we have to get someone else in
the
again.
shit only happens that time of year
See
and they're
how
like,
nervous
we're
that guy
closing.
is interviewing. He's just like, he's trying to like hiding shit. The way his hands are and so he's just like, well, I have to be clear because he probably
Body parts
fucking
sticking out of his
someone.
drawers.
He might be told by someone. So yeah, I like that interview. You know what I mean? Where it's just like setting up the idea of it. Yeah, this kind of went down. You know what I mean? And again, he's not freaked out, but he's just like, well, I love it. He loves the idea because he's away from everyone. You know, so it's just, I don't know, like that's enjoyable watching again. Sort of like.
Yeah, I would take it as being it's a haunted hotel,
Yeah.
and it's attracting certain characters to it that they want.
Such a
and
secluded
stuff.
area, do you know what I mean?
I know, yeah, and it's just
why the
you
fuck
know,
is
you
such
know,
a great place? Look at the place, it's
Yeah.
fucking.
Oh, it's class, man. That's just a huge place, and it's a rider.
Big function rooms.
He's
I
a
mean,
week.
you could have weddings going through there every fucking month. Do you know what I mean? Like, what a great location. Do you know what I mean? So it's definitely there's something fucked up going on there. It's not just all.
That's the
someone's
thing. I
head,
think
but
that like the
you
owners
can all
know
that too.
the owners know more than probably they're letting on to Jack Torrance
And
and
there might
stuff.
be,
on it, you know.
could be both. Could be like we don't actually know what the fuck's going on here, but all we know is it's quiet around this time of the year. We understand that this is our busy season, which is like so shit. Like it's such a short
Terrible
period of time of
business
year
plan,
to be
like.
open for. But
You know.
everything seems fine. All they need is a caretaker.
Well,
one person.
If you
fucking
think
runs that.
if you think that the
about
managers
that.
and everything are in on it as well for rather speeding up the process of getting people involved, one question then is what position do the police hold in it? Because the police, when she's reading through the people, they're so like, all right, how's things going on up there? No bother, back and forth,
wonder about
without
this thing.
saying. They're so innocent about it, and he even says to her to
Yeah.
keep the radio on if you need to have the crack.
they're
Or
helping.
Eating
They're-
donuts and stuff.
the
Maybe,
protocol
maybe,
don't
they're,
know.
maybe they're ignorant to it. Maybe they not. Maybe they don't know.
Because that
Maybe-
sounds more genuine that they're literally just like humouring her by talking back to her, going like, yeah, well, you know, it is a bit shit down here. The weather, you know, obviously
Like I said, the
paraphrasing.
history of the hotel is bound to
very
be known.
calm, yeah.
Yeah.
If a man has killed his family in that hotel, history's bound to be known. Local
Yeah.
newspapers and stuff, so they're bound to know awesome.
That's strange,
in
yeah,
local, in the closest town, which is 25 miles close, so that's equivalent to us to Armagh. So the closest town from
I
us
can't
is
see that as
Armagh,
being like an
25
error
miles.
on his part, like not realising.
Fine to
that
know,
he's
like.
doing- that's set up.
And now, and then they're just trying to
purposely.
avoid that hotel, and that's why nobody goes near it. Going, I'm not going near that
So
hotel.
think of that idea, that
time
was
because John, we're
intended.
linking back that it theory. That's what they say with every occurrence of the it. It's always around like a weather event
Ah, yeah.
and
It's all
stuff.
extreme weather.
So in
Yeah,
it,
yeah.
it's a big
It's
weather
rain,
thunderstorm and
yeah.
stuff, and then now this one is it brings off with the big winter storm and
Blizzard,
stuff.
yeah.
You know, so maybe it's that time of year. That's why maybe why the hotel is closed. You mean it's going? It's just that's when shit happens this time of year, and we'll just get this rider, and he's only a rider. Like nobody knows him. You know, that's exactly what it is. Like it's a patsy. You know,
So they want to keep their business going, and they're just basically coming back every 6 months to find it.
to clean it
Right,
up.
clean that up again. Like,
Clean up. Yeah, that's effectively it. Yeah.
could be.
And the
I
fact
like that. More idea.
Because there was a deleted scene or something they were going to go for the end, or an alternative ending was the police or something interviewing Danny and went out at the end and stuff, and they go, did you find the body? And stuff, and they go, no, we never found the body. Sort of thing. So but then they thought that was a wee bit too ambiguous, sort of thing. So they went, well, just go with the body stays there, and then the hotel just absorbs it, sort of thing. Because if
So
Jack's
any-
body's not
right.
there, how do you explain his body?
So
not
are
being
you
there?
thinking as well, anyone that dies there as well is going to be added? So Dick
Yeah.
Halloran
hotel-
is going to be in there too then?
No, the hotel wants whoever they are tracking to, because I think Dick Halloran just dies. God love him, you know. He's where leave the memories. He's away on.
But then
like,
again, the
you know.
daughters were killed, and they were apparently in it then as the two girls. So you're sitting there going like,
Oh,
Why not
could be,
then?
could be.
is he going straight for your woman in the path? He's going straight upstairs, not a bother. Like, so what else is he going to do then? Is he going to be stuck in there then?
Well, that's what he wanted. It's almost like that's what he wanted. He kind of got what he wanted. In the
He
end.
walked into that axe.
No.
He knew
It's
that
not
was
Jack.
Jack.
No,
Can't blame
Jack.
Jack
It's
for
almost
that,
like
man.
as bad as the outcome was for him, he kind of got what he wanted. He wanted that lifestyle,
Yeah.
to be the bachelor type, to be. He's not allowed to drink with his family, like, but he's there. He's there drinking. He's in the ballroom celebrating.
Off his tits.
Yeah.
I'm almost certain as well that the managers have said that there was no rule against not drinking. I think it was just the fact that if you have any, bring it up kind of thing. Like, but they said, oh, we didn't pack any. And it's him having to say that, oh, we don't drink.
Yeah, yeah.
But the way he says, just like, "I don't drink," like he's been told off not to drink. Like
it's like it's seeping,
Yeah.
seepage. He's just like, yeah, like, he wants to. Nah, I can't do that.
nah.
What a great scenario is it for him to be absorbed in there? Like it's almost like just lending himself. It's almost like he sold his soul, before everything kicked off. But then again, he seemed to be a sort of characteristic to be very susceptible to the allure. It's almost like being seduced into fucking, the right kind of person who will go for it.
I think he's just
He has
looking
all
for an
his
excuse.
attributes.
Like
Yeah,
he's hiding a lot by saying
Doesn't
he was
like
writing
his
again.
relationship.
Yeah.
He's
hiding.
He's got a
Yeah.
kid who's a little bit, he's just he fucking
Little
hates
son
the
of a
way he
bitch,
is.
man.
A little son of a
Little
bitch.
son of
Love him, but I love him, but he's in the way. He's in the fucking way. It's almost like when shit went down, he's almost like he's committed to killing them out because it'd be very easy to it wouldn't be easy to hide it, but to get them out of the picture, he can then fucking do what he wants.
But do you
It
think,
almost
do you think
seems
he
like that a little
resents his family?
bit. Could be interpreted like that. I don't know, because he seems like he puts a great face on, but then you're reading his face. I think just his acting ability anyway.
That's what I was saying
Perfectly
earlier, like,
casted, able to project that kind of like the guy fucking hiding a lot. It comes out expressing. It comes out in like bursts and of anger and like domestic abuse. Like he's hit his boiling points with work and shit.
Right. So the name, the title, everything is supposed to be focused on the whole connection between Danny and say Dick Halloran. So using that having that power. So that's the main focus. It's in the fucking tide and everything. But yet again, all the focus and a lot of talk that always comes up is about the house, about the resort. It's never really named or always put out there as that's the main focus. Everyone, I think it just seems to be clear that seems to be the origin of where it's amplifying weaker people already. That kind of thing. It's just like whether it's a coincidence or whether it's actually drawn people in to take that position. I think it's just a coincidence that there's already shit going on with him, but it's just been amplified in that house. It's not the fact that you're all great and dandy, and as soon as you're in this house, then you start getting fucked up. I think a lot of people over the years probably said that was kind of like the plot of the film, that everything was grand. He started getting more and more fucking nuts as he went along. Because the first couple of viewings I probably had when I was younger, I probably just assumed that that's what's happening.
Yeah,
when you
it
actually
passes me
sit back and realise all the wee cautionary things going on about the abuse and everything else, you start going, right, this is as it amplifies everything else that's already going on. So definitely think that the link with the It kind of universe and everything as well. It just makes more sense to piece all that together.
Still confused.
Makes it more sense.
There's a lot going on, man. I was trying to piece it all together myself. I definitely think there's multiple things going on with it, right? I definitely think Jack Nicholson has the shining ability. Danny has it. Jack doesn't know he has it or how to use it. And Danny is like fucking with him involuntarily, which could be the start of the angst between the two of them. And then
because they're both males, that kind of like you mean like
but see, that's part of the whole Danny's the villain theory, is like fucking all the shit that Jack's seeing is projection Danny's putting into his head, and he can't explain it, so he's starts going mad.
That's his defense, because he's so.
They're drawn to that fucking hotel because he with the adult boy thing as well. He wants to get away and like no stress, no fucking.
Explain that to people, because you said that. But did you get a chance to mention that?
I think it did. Yeah, there was with the writing on the typewriter. There's a few bits in it where it goes all work and no play makes Jack an adult boy, and it goes into this theory about Jack wanting to. I think we touched on this earlier, where the parallels between Danny and Jack is very close. The way they're going, like both little boys, But I think that's like part of Danny's fucking thing, constantly getting into his head, and then the negative energy of that. They're drawn to that hotel where the It thing might have an influence, and that's the only reason why that cook dude should be at that hotel working there. If he knows It from the Losers Club fucking shit, him growing up, he knows it's there, so he's trying to like fucking prevent bad shit from happening. So
why else would he be there? That character be there?
So that's when like Danny comes there and he starts communicating with Danny through the high pitched noises and shit. He's like, I know you know, I know. What's up, Doc? What's up, Doc? But like fucking through the course of the movie, like he and Danny starts experiencing the paranormal stuff with whatever's going on there, but it's a lot of the imagery that's shown with the little girls and the different mad scenes, and that's been put into Jack. I think there's a lot of weight to that theory where Danny can't actually make sense of it in his childlike mind, So all that's why it's so fuck what's going on here in this scene, you know, and that's being put into Jack's mind as well, and it's fucking about with him. And then I think when he was brought up about the limp, Conor brought up where he catches a janitor and he starts mimicking a limp for a couple of seconds, or maybe Niall, one of the two of us, or maybe both of us. But later on, like, I think he hears about Grady at the start of the movie, so he knows the story about him. I think he didn't know that about the limp, but he might have copied that subconsciously, and he's seen the image of Grady in that picture. So I think it's what Jack Nicholson looks like in that movie is not actually what he looks like. I think he looks like the butler, the guy he meets in the bathroom. Yeah. So that's actually what Jack looks like, but Grady looks like Jack. But in his mind, he's subconsciously being Grady. He's in that role, and that could be the whole thing. The trap from the hotels. You know, every person they all think they look like Jack then or whatever the fuck.
They take that role.
Yeah, the next person
could be looked like.
could see like somebody else. You know,
that's the trick in. Like,
I think that's what the pictures are. I don't know if it's the whole absorption thing, but I think it's just a way of claiming souls maybe, and it's
pretty cool. Man.
They all take that Jack picture. Oh, you know. Could be weird to it, you know, but I think that there's a lot going on, especially with the burial ground.
There's definitely things that are fucking going on with.
And Ed's with his hair starting to mimic the clown's hair and shit like that, you know.
Cool, man, yeah. Later on in the movie.
So fucking Jack could be starting thinking about the murder, and then there's a scene where fucking Danny's freaking out, right round, murder backwards and shit like that. Then the shit goes down. You know, he's probably.
I love how that scene is evident. Do you know where he's? So I'm just going to jump in. That scene where it cuts back. You see the elevator scene again. We see the blood coming through, and it cuts to Danny's reaction.
Oh, the red wine.
To them two in the room.
Or Ribena.
It's so fucking ideal for you to change everything. You know, whenever he's cracking up. That just fucking looking at that the way that's edited. It's so fucking great. Like, just had to compliment that scene there. Sorry.
I said these are on. I think coming out watching the film a few times, especially recently, it still confuses me. Like I said, he's very wrong. Like if in my opinion, if I'm watching with my own, I'm going as a hotel who wants certain people. But what's the objective in the end? Once I say go back, what if Jack kills the kid and the wife? What happens then? Like I say, like I'm thinking too. Literally going, what happens then? Does the police show up and arrest Jack? What's the hotel's objective? You know, because that's what I'm saying. Like. From years doing drama and stuff, each character has to have an objective throughout any scene and throughout any movie. So I almost like the hotel being its own character. Let's face it's taking part in most of the plot, doing something. So what is its objective in this in that sense, sort of thing? You know, once it gets Jack, obviously it's got Jack, so maybe it's. But then it's not going to go on.
Does Jack start to try and right? Definitely, I'm going to kill these fuckers, right? Is that after the bruise scene, isn't it? With the lock on the chair and all, what?
Yeah,
I think he's already
after that. So
I think once he arrives, he started to be
attracted.
attractive.
To get Danny, cause that bruise, Danny got away. Before then, it was just all Danny's things or whatever, and then from that point, right, I can't get Danny on my own. I'm going to go for him. And maybe through Danny's connection to him, could like because that's when the hair and all starts going, and then that could be.
Because
you look at the picture,
Jack doing that, that's
could be his insurance and him then, yeah.
So if you look at it going
on its own, hence the bruise and shit.
So if you're saying almost like. So if I'm watching my way of film, I'd be looking going, taking your opinion, going with the hotel is it in the sense,
or
whatever, or in the hotel or whatever. But obviously, with the end picture, Jack's front and center in that picture. So obviously, if the hotel wanted that, why? Like but it was turning more of Jack to kill the kids and his family. Do you know what I mean? But what
result?
Wanted more or less.
You know, like want to get
he was going to hit Wendy to get to Danny because fucking Danny's. When he was protected.
So that's what we say. So if Jack would have succeeded, would he kill Danny?
Probably. And then, most definitely, he probably would have slayed Danny like.
And then Jack could have returned to himself.
Yeah.
And then arrested him, or maybe killed himself or something. Could have been that. It could be different in the book. The book maybe
interesting though, because there's a sequel. Like, we'll probably need to check
Doctor Sleep.
Danny growing up and shit like that. But
there's a film there, McGregor. Yeah.
Somebody else coming in, seeing somebody else in the bathroom is intriguing as well. You know.
I don't know if it's directly linked to the hotel and stuff, but it is the sequel book. The book come out, Doctor Sleep. It's based on Danny, the son, growing up. I don't know what he's doing. I don't know if it has to be mentioned Shine in there somewhere. But I don't know if it's a direct sequel to the Shine. But it's based on the son anyway. Like Doctor Sleep, and there's a movie coming out of it as well. I don't know, the book's already out. I think. Okay. There's a film coming out.
I was going to say there moments ago, like I was going to talk about a possible sequel. That's fucking great. I'll throw in one thing though, like not a spanner in the works, but When you were talking about the police being involved in it somehow, or what would they be, or how plausible that would be, the scenario. I would like to say, like,
We don't know how recent this is. The first lady might have been the first case, and this is just the second case. We don't know how long that this has been happening. You know what I
would say it's interesting. What would be the parameters of him taking out the whatever he took away from the radio to stop, like some sort of like adapter or something? I don't know what he took out.
It's receiving stuff, but it's not transmitting out.
Aye. Yeah. So like, if the police were in on it, would he need to take that out?
No, he wouldn't.
No, I think they're aware of the history of who they bought.
It was just helped him accomplish what he's doing by just cutting off that communication so he can get away with whatever he can get away with.
Because the police would have eventually turned up anyway. Because Halloran contacted somebody
Great
now.
scene though as well. Go check out the snowmobile.
Yeah.
Have a look.
Yeah.
Go check it out!
No, the police would have turned up eventually anyway. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
the Halloran, I think, informed them once he arrived. But it's 25 mile away and it's a snowstorm, so it's going to take a while to get there.
Extreme.
Is it 8 hours away or something? No, how about a 4-hour journey?
He freezes to death.
No.
Yeah.
It's through the mountains and stuff.
No,
and
sorry,
heavy
hold on. This is the thing.
snowstorm.
It was only a 2-hour trip or 3-hour trip or something. He said how long did it take?
3.5 hours from where
That's
he
all
was
from
coming
he-
from.
he was
but-
like- Boulder or
So I'm
something.
just wondering from
The closest town.
the closest population would be about that.
It's 25 mile away. 25 mile takes about 20
longer,
minutes
you
where
know.
we are, wouldn't it? Like
Just
25
things like
miles.
response time. There could have been a little bit more help. Maybe people don't want anything to do with that area.
It's Home
Just
Alone
stay away
policeman.
from it.
Oh, it's you again. How can we help?
Yeah, you know, that's sort of like people are worried. Anything coming from that area, oh, stay the fuck away from there. Yeah, all the best.
Any distress calls come
Yeah,
from the
it's
overlook.
like-
Ignore. Alright. Alright.
Anyone involved could be, you know, a dodgy character, so you don't
You
want
want us to send someone out there
The
to check on your husband.
Yes!
Who passed you through here?
Fucking hell, but.
But great film. Love it. It's up there, one of my favourite. I'd say if you can debate if it's a horror film or not, but it's definitely up there, like top 5 horror films that you would stick on around Halloween time or even any time of the year. You mean, but even just for the filmmaking of it, you know, if you want to ignore it for the horror, just watch it for the filmmaking, the script. I'd say, man, as you said, the soundtrack's not really a soundtrack really per se. It's just more noise,
Just
cues and
atmosphere,
stuff.
isn't it?
isn't it?
Atmos, yeah.
That's what they're saying. Like there's certain noise, like certain cuts. You think the music with modern day horror films now, the music would cut in with the cut and stuff. But he would have random cuts and nothing approaching, nothing accompanying it, and then randomly later, then the music comes in.
yeah.
It's very disturbing.
Right,
like it's uneasy. Like you know.
Yeah, it's great in that.
Well, it is one of those kind of films that you would sit back and give it a fucking respect to this. I'm going to watch this, phones put away,
Switch it off.
switch off, and actually absorb it. Like,
Yeah.
which is, that's what I say. It was no task to sit back and go back over this. Or if someone's given up a theory, I could sit down and go, right, I'll rewatch that one scene again and see if it plays out. So there is a lot of different ways you can take this one. It'd be interesting for anyone else. Obviously, still listening, would obviously think of that way. For anything that we have missed out on, you think that definitely we should be looking at this kind of way and talking about. Or any other suggestions for anything else that you want to hear coming out content wise, obviously is great to hear. Just as a parting thing for everyone else here as well, we do have more specific content coming out soon for other films, which we'll hold back for now, revealing. With me and Declan, we have our And Justice one to finish off soon, and anything else you want to add to the Shining memories here before we knock her off?
Do you remember you brought up the typewriter scene where the noise where he rips the paper as well?
Yeah.
I thought it was a great thing I never touched on is the fact that he goes, right, we're going to make another rule. Another rule.
Yeah.
So there's been rules established.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
It's like
that
living
we
with
haven't
John
seen,
Cena.
you know.
It's that, it's another thing of another clear indication of domestic violence. It's just like right now, and we're establishing another rule. Yeah, fucking creepy. Like it's a subtext.
Oh,
to
that's
the
it.
whole
Like,
film.
No, I think I was good enough.
that's the gist.
You know.
It is a good fucking extra wee bit to add. It just adds to, like I said, her wearing stuff constantly concealing her neck and all as well. In most of the shots, it might just be her quirky attire anyway. But there's even scenes where she's walking around the hotel and she's wearing a scarf constantly to cover up all the time. So you're just like, I don't know, it's a wee bit more evident that way. That's why I think she would. That's why there's a bit more emphasis on Danny's neck all the time. She's all constantly checking his neck. Most things, which is
And that's the
hoping she's
moment
doing
where
the
she
thing like
starts-
this.
I think that's the moment where she's like, right, I can't fucking trust you. Like you are dangerous because it took that incident. She can take it all. I think that reflects another thing. Like unfortunately, like it always seems to be like.
That's why I think they were perfect victims for the hotel,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
he's
It's that energy.
he has committed abuse on the child, so he's going to get blamed if anything the hotel does anything to the child. But she does blame him, and then she finds out about the woman and stuff, and
then always this report unknown to him though, but already someone knows about the history of this family because she's had that little moment with the child to find out what's going on. And then it's like,
that's what you think of. Why was he picked? He's obviously out of it. I don't know. Flashing back to, I don't know if it's mentioning how many other applicants were there for the position and stuff. But he's obviously picked for a reason. He's a writer. He's a former alcoholic. He's got a wife and kid. I don't know if the hotel manager wanted it. Maybe they just wanted a caretaker. They just wanted someone to look after it.
Well, that was their advert. We want a former alcoholic. We want
non-smoker, non-ugly.
Yeah,
that's what shit was.
That was the advert to get him in, and he was just like, "I take those fucking boxes." Fucking right.
Are you sick of your family? Yes.
Yes.
This job's for you!
Do you like throwing tennis ball or fucking baseballs against the walls?
And ancient relics. Millions of pounds.
On an ancient Indian burial ground. That's right up my street.
I still imagine the managers come back after a couple of months and they walk in and they
Reactions.
they notice the baseball wounds in the wall and they step over Deco Halloran, don't even notice them. They just fucking focus on the wall. This wall art that's been destroyed by him just smacking it
Follow
off the
the
wall.
trail of empty fruit cocktails.
And the tire marks, who the fuck's been triking around here? Just like the whole way around.
Marks,
Yeah.
right?
Skid marks.
No cherries? No.
No cherries, eh? So she's picked every cherry out of every 10 of fruit cocktail in the entire building. And there's still like months worth of lemon.
And she's wearing the fucking snowplow with them all.
Yeah.
All the
Two
cherries.
pictures as well.
Yeah. All the afros, everything said.
Danny, fuck.
No. Well, at least I think there's a good way of... We've singled out something that's been... that all of us have been a fans of growing up here, so it's great to single out something, I guess, and then thinking forward, any more specific directors we want to target, or any other film series.
Franchise.
Do you know what? I actually do. I would love to sit and talk. Like, this is, for me, I've done a lot of content covering Justice League and just
Someone get an
Batman
idea?
stuff, right? Yeah, it was my
No phones in the studio.
Yeah.
I know, it's the main fucking
it's very
separate
casual,
phone.
you know. But I would love to talk about the state of the DCU universe because, you know,
You're going to get emotional.
I want to see that fucking grow a lot better. Like, I think there's been a lot of bumps in the road, so I'd love to cover a podcast. I'd probably break it down.
Or what would you do differently, or...
No, I would love to talk about. I want to talk about the journey of these movies because it's only been past from 2005 with Batman Begins. Since then, what's come out in movie format and what the good and bad points. I think a lot of it needs to be. I want to cover what state of it now is. Like, why the fuck is it not working? Do you know what I mean? It should be working.
Okay.
So I'd love to cover that in the podcast. If anyone wants to jump on, we'll see if that happens.
Not a problem. Anything, I think we've, as I said, there's franchise. You said there's plenty of...
There's
A couple of old school horror
Chris
ones.
Nolan.
Oh, yes.
Looking to check out like old ones that you'd always hear about growing up, but you've never really seen. You know, you don't really hear about them. Like, you know, so there's a couple
Obscure
of them.
ones, yeah.
There's a couple of them floating about that are going to be in the works.
Especially coming this time of year, I think I want to cover a few more Halloween films, or horror films, sorry, in particular, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Only, again, because usually my focus would be for fucking Christmas ones, so we'll get some more Halloween kind of style on the go anyway.
Well, like to say though, when we talk about Halloween now, I'd love to sit and talk about Halloween movies. I want to make another top 10 video, so you might see the top 10 worst Halloween movies.
Oh,
Oh,
yes.
yes.
Last year was the best.
I'd love to make a wee video coming your way. That'd be class for Halloween. I'll put it out on Halloween again.
I think we were talking not too long ago, we want to start watching like Troll 2 and fucking whatever
Yeah,
that
see,
garbage
that's-
days
well,
from and stuff.
that's
You know?
what I-
Trying to focus on
Nice
the
things.
good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
First,
You
top
know,
10.
let's not
And
dive
that's
into
what
the
some of the
shite.
shit like.
We can all sit and fucking watch some of the shit, man, and see what you all think. Like.
But I don't want to waste my time watching shite for the sake of watching shite.
We,
I
are
just
watching, we have to watch
it
The Room though. The
That's-
room is on the
that's
cards. Like.
It's on the
I've
cards.
never seen it, like, so I'll do
Four
it.
times,
I'll
man.
do it
You
for
would-
Red Acre.
Man, you will. You'd love it.
I did it for the rock.
Yeah.
Yeah, you wanted to do Chris Nolan movies at some
Chris
stage.
Nolan
didn't you?
movie. Especially because, if you want to cover Nolan in general, but I definitely want to cover Inception, being my
Yeah.
fucking... I think we should all cover our favourite films of all time.
Yeah.
If we narrow that down, whatever your favourite film is, we should definitely be covering that as a group, sort of thing.
We'll put a vote out to people as well. What do you think of these suggestions we've put forward already? So we get people's opinions on it.
Yeah, well, I'd like to know if there's any
like to see
suggestions
next, you know?
that anybody out there wants to suggest to us to check out, any old franchises or one-off movies in particular, you know. So just leave a suggestion in the comments section, either on the Instagram or the YouTube, wherever you're listening to this podcast, because it's a great help for us to realise what you actually want to hear. And if we haven't seen it and it sounds fun, then
What's our
it's a
PO
bit of a
box?
game, you know.
P.O. box, none of your business.
None of your business. So you have to just contact us through social media.
That's great.
Comment on what did you like about the podcast? What did you not like? What did you like to see? Any suggestions? Open the mind, you know. So,
I think that's a good way.
There we go.
Anybody want to plug?
That's the way the cookie crumbles.
Any social media?
Just messy doodle, messy doodle, messy doodle.
Nothing but messy doodle.
Huh?
Not a problem.
Didn't say nothing.
Yourself, Conor.
No, I'm just plugging Red Acre for life. That's me. I'm happy enough.
Sorry, plugging more plugs. You can see me on Decky Play by Play, doing lots of gaming stuff. So that's where all the gaming stuff that I'm doing nowadays. I'm doing a lot of streaming stuff, so you can check me out there. YouTube and Instagram.
Some Mortal Kombat content for you there.
Yeah, so me and JP have done a couple of live streams on Mortal Kombat, and yeah, man, it's been good shit.
Yeah, so classic Mortal Kombat and MK9 specifically.
It's part of the Red Acre family.
Yeah.
So.
Well, if anyone wants to play a game of Jack Chain, just come round and give us a shout. That'll be my extent for that. But
Could we link back to Jack there?
Jack, fucking well done, Jack. Well, thanks very much, lads, for fucking done it.
Looks like,
It's been
looks
in
like
the- it's been
Jack's
in the
back in the
background.
box.
Jack.
Huh.
Oh, Jesus, now.
Boys.
So lots of more, loads more Red Acre podcasts.
That's my last
on our way,
podcast,
so-
boys, Barry.
No, I must actually thank Niall in particular because when we're
Don't
going
be
through,
silly.
Don't be
Don't
silly.
be silly, boys.
No,
I think there's been a big inspiration from Niall. Like
this was definitely Niall's idea to sit down. It was a great idea. So thank you very much for coming up and doing one for the Shining.
Oh, no worries, boys.
Yeah, so follow Red Acre Productions on Instagram and YouTube, and also
And you're on the
Original
Instagram,
Razor on Instagram and Twitter. So there you go.
check us all out.
All those
And I'll
handles.
check you guys out.
All work and no play makes Red Acre dull boys.
You check me out.
Thank you very much. All right.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.